Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Critically Drinking with Rico and Rashawn. You getting that feedback, Rico?
Yeah, I am. There it is.
I don't know what it is. Uh-oh. Boom. Hey, listen. This will not be Critically Drinking if there were no audio-visual issues, man.
That's what they come for. That's what they come for.
Man,
the bloopers, the blooper reel.
Every single time, man. Every single time. Just do a quick shout out to the people already here. We have Womensphere versus Manosphere. AR already in the building. Said can't wait. Thank you, sir. I was on the stream with him not too long before this show started. You can find that on our channel and his, Womensphere versus Manosphere, and Critically Drinking. And Mr. Rucker prenup popped through. And you know, Rico's already wrong.
I know. He warming up to me though.
Yeah. And we got our favorite Resinil here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you for migrating over from Bro Clarence's and following us. Mm-hmm. And we got Real Talk with Mimsy Limbs in the building. Bada bing. That like button, y'all. So thank you all for being here. What you're going to notice, and I didn't discuss this with Rico, so hopefully he's okay with it. Everybody that's familiar with us and comes and subscribes and stays with us routinely, I'm going to make them moderators for two reasons. One, first, let me set the expectation. I do not expect you to come and be responsible to police the chat. You do not have to take care of all the bots. You don't have to over-police or do any policing at all. I want to identify you as a regular because there are people on other channels now mimicking regulars. They'll come with a name that's very close to like somebody we know. Like instead of Loverboy Linsky, they started coming in as Loverboy Pinsky. So they're doing little things to trick people and cause dissension. And I know since I've been caught up in some of the messiness, I want to make sure that all of you are identified, and that way you all are also safe from anybody that is a moderator over here timing you out or blocking you, because you're familiar with us, we're familiar with you, and we have that trust between each other. So definitely wanted to make you all mods, easily recognizable with the blue. And the second thing is you're joining my gang. Rico doesn't like us. We the Misfit mods.
Oh yeah, I don't. I got a problem with those Misfit mods. Like, yeah, I'll tell you about my mod story later.
Mods, Misfit mods in the building, y'all. So thank you for everybody being here. And again, you do not have to take on the responsibility to stay for an entire stream because I did that. You don't have to try to catch every bot. I don't want you to feel any added responsibility. Again, it's going to be a station identifier. We know who you are, and you're a person of trust because you're a moderator. So thank you all for that. And Rico, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. It's the weather here is weird. It's spring officially. It's actually kind of nice, but it has been pretty rainy here. It was funny. I had to take my dog to get a haircut, and of course, we had, I don't know what you call them. We had over the weekend here, I live outside Washington, D.C. We had a trucker convoy, like the thing they did up in Canada.
Yeah.
They did here where they went to the Beltway and they were causing all kinds of traffic and stuff like that. So I went and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of all these giant trucks with people with, I'm like, what are these? These can't be all retirees, but like RVs painted like the flag and cars, and these people coming from all over the country, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with people? I'm like, you're not going to change the government. It's all about Fauci and all that. I was like, you're not going to change us from what we're doing, and the mask and stuff is up. Now you want to protest? It was just really kind of silly. I thought that was interesting. I thought we were over it, and I'm like, we got a lot of problems as a country.
No,
that this is what you want to do is cause traffic congestion on a Sunday and a Monday over something that we're ending, and you're raising an issue that's we're done. We're about as done as we can be with it, but they're still doing it. So I was like, okay, I guess they just want to cause. Probably fundraising, making money.
No, it's definitely messy. I know they're not doing it on my time. I've been, of course, we've been hearing about it for some months now. Up north in Canada, so
right.
I'm sad that it's affecting your area now.
And I can almost understand Canada a little bit more because I think they went on lockdown again.
Yeah.
Like, you got no damn lockdown. Everybody is. We might well be Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why here? If it was, like I said, with Canada, I got a little bit because I was like, I don't know if they lifted the lockdown there now, but I know they did. So, but I was like, it's kind of crazy. You know, I think we got a little bit too much freedom in America, and people make a cause where a cause isn't needed. You know, so it was just weird. I thought I was done it over, and I ran into the crap. Yeah, block the traffic squad, as AR says.
Definitely. Thankfully, man, I'm so thankful I haven't had that here. That would be such a nightmare. I remember during the as AR would say, the riots. I remember during the riots and the protests, they blocked a lot of traffic, and people couldn't get through. So I mean, that caused a lot of issues. So definitely. Definitely, I know that's a nightmare for a lot of people. I understand you believe how you believe. You believe strongly that that's what you need to do. So, I mean, part of me doesn't want to say it's, wrong or right, but, man, it's definitely a nuisance.
Exactly. So,
again, way.
I didn't take any, it's like, the only thing that why this stood out was I'm like, we're over it. They're not doing the mandates anymore. They got rid of the mask. Why are y'all doing that now? So it just seemed kind of weird. And again, like I said, I don't take a stand. Some things, like I said, it's a nuisance, but some protests are necessary.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
All right, real quick, everybody, we're going to go over the bar etiquette. Boom. Keep the convo refreshing. Now, everybody, so this goes for people that come up on the panel and in the chat. Your first time being disruptive will get you warned. Your second time will get you timed out in the chat or, sat backstage if you're on the panel. And your third altercation will get you booted from either the panel or the chat. So now that we've got that cleared up, 1, 2, 3 strikes and you are out. You still like that, Rico? You still like that? Those rules?
Yeah, I love it. I love the rules.
Cool.
Absolutely. I think it's appropriate. So.
Definitely. We're already getting ready to kick out AR. He's on his third. All right, everybody. We're going to go over a weekly recap. We tried to, when we were doing the segments, try to go over where we were in the YouTube streets. But, streets ain't as safe as they used to be. So, Rico, where have you been? I know, just briefly, at about 3 o'clock, was it? 3 o'clock Eastern time, or you can check in Womensphere versus Manosphere, or here on Critically Drinking. You'll see the stream that I did with AR about being enjoying 2022. Trying to make the best of 2022. And I saw you pop up in the chat. What'd you think about that, Rico?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'll admit I didn't see all of it. I saw it in bits and pieces because I was confused because when I'm subscribed to both streams. So I'm like, is it live over here? Is it live over there? That's what threw me off, it being live on both at the same time. So what happened the other day was I was on somebody else's panel. They were repopulating their panel. And I didn't realize when they repopulated, it would come up red as a premiere. And I thought that was a lie. So I go in and I'm chatting in the comments and wondering why they're not saying nothing to me. And before I realized, like, damn it, I'm talking to something they just reloaded.
Yeah.
So that's why I was scared to do it again because I'm like, my old ass, I'm not as technology savvy as I think I am. So I was like, I don't know where are these lives in both places, or is one a premiere and I'm thinking it's live and back and forth like that. So I saw you guys talking about some stuff. It's pretty interesting. And I always love to hear Brother AR's perspective on everything. Even though he's usually wrong, I still like hearing it. Always wrong, but I like hearing it. And I definitely value that brother's intellect, his wit, and the way he gets his points across. Absolutely.
I almost displayed my city schools, high school education. I was about to say, I was like, always wrong, AR. And I was like, no, it's wrong is W, but that's the sound. Yeah, AW. I almost messed up, man. Almost messed up.
He was phonetically correct.
Man, yeah, phonetically. But that ain't good enough. Wait. Wrong and strong all day. Yeah, but I think it was a good stream. I think some a good messaging went out. I
Mhm.
saw. I don't know if he allowed that or not with Restream because he's switching up platforms. It allowed me to say you can send it to your own stuff. So I didn't think to ask. I didn't. There was no way to ask. Well, I could have texted, but it said you can send this to your platforms as well. When I was signing in, I was like, oh, well, let me put my stuff in here and see what happens. So hopefully that's cool. Ar, it did go to both places. So appreciate you, sir.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know what else have I been into. Sunday, it was also with Minisphere, but it was a gentleman's panel. I know Roberto, Mr. Rucker, Visionary 150. I think a couple of ladies popped by. There was another gentleman too. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank now, but we had a good talk, a good conversation. So it was instructive. Jake Takashi popped in. So I mean, we had a good mix. The Blooming Ebony popped by, and there was another lady that AR had invited. So I mean, it was a good mix of people, good conversation. But what else have you been into, Rico?
Nothing much. Just well, actually, I had some family stuff to attend to this weekend, which I did dutifully. So the missus wouldn't want to chop my head off. So I had my grandson's birthday was Saturday night. Actually, no, yesterday. We cut a cake for him and cooked on the grill and stuff outside yesterday. And then Saturday night, I went to my father-in-law's birthday party and got toe down to the flow down there. So that's why I didn't get to see. I'm kind of behind on my content watching and viewing. I watched today some of the messiness in the streets. That was just like we'll probably touch on a little bit because it's a bit ridiculous, very ridiculous. Some of the things, and even being drugged into some of it, which I didn't care for. So we may because like I say, I know you and I and even a couple of other content creators I took work to. I was like, look, stay out of it, stay free, stay clear. And I thought we were doing a great job. I ain't been on no panels, I ain't been making no comments, I ain't been in no damn chats, I ain't been doing nothing. But yet my old wrinkle balls got drugged into it anyway. So if you're gonna drag these old wrinkle balls in it, I hope you're ready for these old wrinkle balls. Okay? Because I'm telling you, you better know who you fucking with. That's all I'm saying. You better know. I can be that guy. But that's what it is. So I'm trying to, lean into my mature age and be mature and stay out of this. But some of these things, people playing victim where they're not victim. Because I've often said is I've seen nothing but snakes abound everywhere. So, but now, one side want to be the victim. I ain't falling for that bullshit. Yeah. And they thrown out. It's funny too, because the one thing I would like to talk about in particular is people in our community who allow the disrespect to our communities. I've even seen people proudly lean in, be as dark as night, and will publicly claim, I ain't black. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. Okay, that's cool. If you ain't, you ain't. But I don't fuck with that. Because I feel like they want to be in a space where they allow people to disparage us as a group of people. So all other races are proudly leaning into their nationality, their identity, but we're not supposed to want to be the very thing that we are. After we worked for so many generations to build up pride in what we are. I'm like, are you serious? This is what the fuck we doing now? And because we've allowed people to come into our spaces and speak to us in a demeaning way, I ain't with that shit. But some people have seen the snakes for what they are. Others still have yet to see it.
Yeah.
Rock out with your cock out as far as I'm concerned. But I don't play that shit. You don't disparage my people when you're not of my people. You don't do it. So I hope some lessons were learned after this weekend. I hope some people have seen things, because I'll be the first to say, there are no innocents here. Zero. There's not one fucking innocent. There's snakes abound. But that's why I had the wisdom in the sense to say, hey, I'm going to stay the hell out of it. But yet, all of a sudden, now they want to tell you who you're supposed to have associations with when they were previously associated with these people. Like, knock it the fuck off. So you can't laugh now. They got to control your sense of humor. They got to control. Right now, you nodding your head again? You still nodding your head?
Yep.
You still nodding your head?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to laugh at, I'm going to like, I'm going to comment at any motherfucking thing I want, the same as they was doing it when it was beneficial to them.
Absolutely.
So if I stayed out of it and motherfuckers crying, oh, nobody came. No. You chose the war. You chose the war. You didn't ask my counsel before you did it. You didn't ask me the strategy. So when you're in the thick of it, don't come crying about people don't want to sit there and help with. So that's the reality. There's a lot of fucking hypocrisy, an unlimited amount of hypocrisy. See, and I'm going to speak to the community in particular. Y'all keep giving nigga passes and allowing people to disdain us and talk about us ad nauseum like they don't have nothing else to fucking talk about, as if their community is but 1 or 2 percentage points better than us in any fucking thing, as if all of a sudden our beautiful black women need to have self-esteem issues about them. That's bullshit. And y'all sit there and y'all smile about it. And y'all key that. But y'all talk about y'all for, I've done more. My birth certificate says Negro male. I don't get to choose I'm going to be a Negro today and not one tomorrow. But y'all let this shit get. Y'all let it go. Y'all ignored it. Y'all let it go. They not in my presence, because I don't come from that school. We don't give nigga passes. We don't. I'm not allowing that shit. But y'all can do whatever y'all want. Because, see, people got to these spaces doing that, behaving that way, talking like that, because y'all decided to look the other way. One time I seen a sister go to check this person, and she got eviscerated. She got eviscerated. She was right. She was right. Didn't nobody want to protect that black woman, did they? Nobody wanted to protect that black woman for standing up for black people. No, she was wrong. And they eviscerated her. That black woman was fucking right. So that's what y'all need to look in the fucking mirror. And of course, some of y'all, I ain't black. I don't see it. Be whatever the fuck you want to be. Leave me and my fucking people alone. Because I ain't having it.
Ooh.
So now tell anybody, you can rock with whoever you want to rock with. I'm not going to tell nobody, all right, Sean, you can associate. But you know, miss me with the bullshit about my associations when you have your questionable associations. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you know, when you want to cozy up with a black white supremacist, don't come to me with no bullshit. Yeah, we have those. We have white supremacists within our community who would rather be anything but black. So when you want to cozy up and give them a voice and rock with their shit, don't come talking to me about nothing what I do. See, people are not looking at their own associations because you know why? They're looking for what's in it for them. They're looking for what's their benefit. So they want you to get up on your hackles to support their shit, but at the same time, the first chance that snake gets, it's going to bite your motherfucking ass. I could see it a mile away. I could see it a fucking mile away. So nothing in these streets surprised me. But you know what? Keep my fucking name in your mouth. You're going to find out. Go ahead. Old wrinkle balls. Old wrinkle balls. There it is. So anybody can run back and tell it, whatever. Well, fuck, ain't got no receipts on me. I don't roll that way. You got shit on me. And never will. Messy ass fucking people. Yeah, you should. I agree with you, AR. You'd be able to support, because that was how I always felt. I don't fuck with people, but I never told nobody else how not to fuck with nobody. I'm like, if you want to do it, you want to do it. That's up to you. I just don't fuck with them, and I'm good. And I ain't never went to nobody in these spaces. Or someone would tell you, I made it clear to people who I don't fuck with and say, look, don't put us in the same space because it ain't gonna end well. However, rock out wherever you want to rock out. And some of my best associations are people who talk to people that I wouldn't give two minutes. Because I'm like, when I go in those spaces, I leave dumber after listening to them. But when I heard so much anti-blackness this weekend, it was all this weekend. Remember, there was another stream earlier that morning supposedly discussing blackness, and I'm like, I left dumber after listening to that shit. Because people who look like us will say anything but anything good about us. People who fucking look like us. There's something wrong with that. To me. So either other people that I rock with who still rock with, I'm like, that's fine. But to me, when I see somebody that's darker than my fucking sunglasses, say they ain't black, to me, something ain't fucking right here. To me. But anybody else can say, hey, that makes sense. Go ahead. I'm glad that makes sense to you. I wouldn't want to be caught in Mississippi or Alabama with their ass. Or somewhere else where I could be in a place of harm because they fucking bail out on me with some bullshit. I'm leery. I was raised to be leery of people like that. I'm not pro-black, but I'm certainly not anti. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got to be pro to not be anti. You don't have to be, but the straight vitriol of our people or people who look like us in the diaspora, which permeates all over the world. It's in Asian America. It's in India America. It's all over Latin America. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers just pop off the mouth and say whatever they want. Why are we the only community that they can do that about? Find a stream where they talking about the LGBT community. Find a stream where they talking about the white community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community. Find a stream where they doing it. Nope. Everybody wants to take a shit on black people. And you know what? I particularly blame us and black men for allowing this shit. We got to hold the mirror up to ourselves and say, you know what? We need to demand the respect that we want. We need to demand that shit. Every fucking body else do. You ain't gonna catch me on these streams disparaging no other community. So why the fuck does anybody want to disparage mine? And we're not nobody's pet project. We don't want no motherfucking pity party. If you're not of the community, keep our motherfucking name out your mouth. We're not your pet project. Oh, I'm doing this for black people. No, you ain't. You eating off of us. That's what you doing. That's the hypocrisy that I can see through the bullshit. You fucking eating off of us. You ain't doing us no fucking favor. You're not leading us to no solution. You're not giving us any help. You're just talking about us. That's all the fuck you're doing. Talking about us. And you know what? People that look like us let you do that shit. And while motherfuckers talking about, oh, shouting, you ain't see me shouting nobody out amongst this shit. But guess what? I see people look like me shout out the very same people who do this shit. Shout out the very same people who do this shit. But I ain't to find a stream where I ain't never shouted nobody. I don't even, hell, I barely shout out this channel. Find the fucking stream. But then they want to twist and bend themselves to say because you're not supporting their bullshit, you're supporting the other side. No, I'm not. I ain't got nothing to do with either side because I see nothing but snakes. Give a fuck if I jump in the basket on the left or the basket on the right. I'm going to get bit no matter what. What the fuck is the difference? And that's the hypocrisy of it. But they had this big old platitude, and you want to know my thoughts? Should have kept my fucking name out your mouth. You wouldn't have had no thoughts. I had none to share. I was silent up until this point. So now I'm free to say what the fuck I want, and I will continue. But you're not going to play like you for my fucking people when I know your ass ain't. I don't give a fuck what no other fucking person think. Because they're too busy trying to curry favor with your ass for some lost reason that's beyond me. but I will never have a lack of integrity to the motherfucking point that I want to be around anybody that I'm going to shit on my people. Or I'm going to allow them to do it in my fucking face without me sitting there calling them to account for it. That's all. That's all. Don't talk about me. You need to ask yourself why you sit next to people who do this shit, and there's a whole history of it. There's a whole catalog of the shit that they do. There's a whole catalog that they got. So if you don't know, you don't want to know. That's called willful ignorance. You choosing to be blind and stupid to it. That's what you should be. But I'm not going to tell you nothing. You support whoever you want. I don't do that. Support whoever you want. But don't come to me with the bullshit about the hypocrisy. Because if a racial slur is okay, then a sexual slur is okay. Okay? So if somebody can call a black man a nigga, it's okay for a black man to call a woman a bitch. Because they're the same fucking thing. Miss me with that bullshit. But that's how they try to do it in these streets. And they're going to convince you. And they're going to con y'all. That's different. That's different to you motherfuckers. That's different to y'all. It ain't different to me. It's not different to me. A slur is a slur is a slur. Same thing. So what y'all got upset about, fine. You didn't hear me sitting there telling nobody, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Go do whatever you want. That's fine. You ain't hear me over there. Don't do that. Don't do. Y'all go to war. Go to war. Do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. But how the fuck you gonna tell people on the sideline that ain't in it, ain't said shit, ain't done shit, that we wrong for being because we don't take your side? Fuck your side and the other side. Don't owe you motherfuckers nothing. Because you damn sight ain't taking my side, not with what I'm talking about. The fuck I got a cape for y'all for, you ain't caping for me. But guess what? I'm not crying and asking for it either. They won't cape for me. They won't cape for me. They won't come to my side. Because I said what the fuck I said, I'm an army of one. And that's the fact. I'm off my rant. But
that was just so funny because it was like before the stream started, guys. Before the stream started,
yeah, that's Rico, what we're gonna do.
Yeah, he's talking about we're gonna talk about the mess in the streets. Like yeah, he's like, yeah, might touch on it. Might touch on it.
But it's been a build, and you know I stayed out of it.
We're gonna touch on it.
I stayed completely out of it, but the way you get subliminally, and the thing is, the dragging. Here's the crazy part about it, Arshawn. Mm-hmm. The dragging of it, shit wasn't just Saturday. It's been for a while. And I'm like, no.
Nah, it's been dragging out for a minute. And
they've been like trying to drag people into it. And I'm like, why are you trying to drag outsiders into it?
Yeah.
The people that's going to defend you and rock with it, they're going to do it. The people that don't, we won't. Because we just don't want to be involved in it. That's what you usually want. Stay out of it. That's how we came up. Stay out of it. You ain't got nothing to do with it. Just don't hold my fucking hands when I start throwing the hands and don't grab me. That's all I would tell them. When it goes down, don't you grab me. Stay the fuck out of it. I ain't never been in a space where people begging people to come in it. Please, 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 come in. Because if I thought I needed a bunch of help, I'm not going to start the war. I'm going to be quiet. I'm just going to let it ride. But you can't start a war and then beg for help. You can't do that and then beg for help. And that's what I found to be extremely hypocritical. Extremely hypocritical.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the begging for help, man. But it was I didn't like that I kept coming up in spaces like, man, like God.
For being you. Just for being you. Just for being yourself. You can't go on panels. You can't, you can't do any of that. Mm-mm. I tell you, I ain't got a problem with Yella. Yella, my guy. He's always been supportive of me, so I'm going to support him.
Yeah.
What am I going to sit there and so now I can't support people who supported us, but you motherfuckers ain't supporting us? Knock it off. Knock it off.
Yeah. So
knock it off. I can't support one of my supporters, but y'all ain't supporting me. Mm-hmm. The fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
And you know they would fucking sit there, like I said, will flip the script and will stab your ass in the back at the first chance they fucking get.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah. But that's why I really like. I know. I got my issues with King, but I appreciate what he said when he told me and JP to leave. Basically, he's like, "Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated." That makes perfect sense. Like,
leave.
But don't keep bringing me up though. That's my thing. Like, if I'm out, I'm not in your chat. Like, why are you putting me in videos? Like. Like, there's some weird stuff,
and
man.
And I get, I thought that was weird. Then I get called. I'm like, wait a minute, I left before any of y'all did.
Mm-hmm. You went back.
Because your shit ran me off. Your racist shit ran me off. So I leave on that. Y'all stayed in that shit. And then you got the nerve to sit there and try to call other people out for hypocrisy. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. And that's why I'm sitting there saying is, I'm not sure. She went somewhere, maybe your grandma. That's what I'm saying is the level of hypocrisy. If you listen, and unfortunately, I listened to more of that shit than I should have. But, like I said, I knew I got called out. So it's like, okay, well, let me see what it is. My old wrinkle balls, me and my old wrinkle balls. I'm that old man, and that's fine. I'm going to be that. I'm going to be everything. See, ain't nothing special about me. I'm basic. I'm average. And I know when I see average people. And just because people say they're beautiful don't make it true. It just don't make it true. It just don't make it true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all this, and all this and that. And I'm like, man, you can miss me. So I'll treat a lady that acts like a lady. But if you ain't acting like one and you out here telling people to suck your dick all the time, makes me wonder, do you got one?
Yeah, I ain't gonna go that far. I mean,
I don't know.
But that's your perspective, man. But I mean, a woman's a woman to me. I'm not gonna go to combat with a woman, like, period. So
I ain't gonna go to combat.
I just pieced out.
Woman, but what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna sit there and let no woman continue to disrespect me or my people. I'm not gonna let it happen because the bottom line is, if you do, you would. I'm be honest with you, I'm used to being in spaces where black women would deal with that, and they would deal with that the same way I, as a black man, would have to deal with a non-black man. See, I couldn't sit there and hush my mouth if a non-black man was talking that stupid shit. So I'm used to being in spaces where black women would deal with that, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Because I know plenty of sisters right now, you ain't gonna pop off at the mouth like that and talk that shit around them. I promise you. They throw them fucking hands. You got sisters out here that they don't mind.
Wait a minute, wait. Real question now. Because you talking about throwing hands. This is the virtual space. This is YouTube.
Right. No, I'm not talking about like YouTube. I'm just saying
but I'm just saying we're talking about you're talking about policing, but they got their channel. You can walk away. You can walk away.
Right, absolutely. But I'm just saying, well, at a bare minimum, if they can't do nothing on YouTube, they wouldn't sit there and listen to that shit. They wouldn't sit there and go, well, okay. They would be like, no, hell no. And I seen some push back, but they push back all softly. Well, man, I'm like, why y'all being ginger? Because the things I'm hearing coming from that end, it's not ginger. It's direct. It's direct. The disrespect that's coming from that person is direct, and they're trying to mask it as if, oh, I'm speaking up for black women. No, you're not. You're speaking down to black women. You're talking about black women. Okay? And instead of them addressing the shit head on, they address it gingerly. Well, I don't want to get out of it. I'm like, yeah, but this is why this continues. This is why it continues. But see, we should have had one of these sisters from the nation that would have tightened that shit right up. You know that.
No, man. That's what you're doing. That thing, Rico.
Up the disrespect. No,
we had this conversation before, Rico. Rico, we had this conversation before. You cannot hold strangers on the internet accountable. I don't care who you are, right. From the nation, from the non-nation, from the United Nations, from the child nations. It doesn't matter. Nobody could have. Yeah, nobody could have shut down her channel or that thing other than YouTube.
Talking about shutting down the channel. It's just the fact of, why are you allowing disrespectful statements?
Who could have stopped it?
Huh?
Who could have stopped it?
No, you can't stop it. I was saying you can't stop it, but you can address it.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You just don't go.
Got you. All right. Gotcha.
Like, what? Really? Because that gives, that's the same thing they were saying. Well, it seems like you kiki and you with it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Y'all ain't saying nothing, so I guess y'all okay with it. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
You got a responsibility to speak up and push back, and if you don't, you don't.
And see, that's my thing. I told you, I didn't disagree. I disagreed with you.
Yeah, I know, but I was right and you was wrong. And I got I showed you, RC. Hell, just matter of fact, this is my first day back on Facebook, and I don't know how many months. Because I stay, and I'm probably going to be locked up by the weekend, because I stay in spaces defending black women. I do. I stay in spaces, and not for my benefit, to my own detriment. Because that's just who I am, and no one. I got a bunch of black women tell you, he's always defending. These are women I don't know, because when I hear men say terrible things about them, I don't like it. I stay in those spaces saying y'all just making shit up and y'all just trashing them for no reason. I got documented receipts of me doing it, and women who will constantly say he's always in these streets defending us. And I don't want any, the detriment to myself. Like, oh, you a simp, you this, you that, whatever. I don't care, fuck y'all. I don't like that energy that y'all are doing. I think it's unfair. The whole stepfather thing, that bothers me personally. Things like that, so it's a lot of it like that. And, so when I see false allies who I know are doing things for their own personal gain, and then like I say, the thing that just bothered me was like, you and I being called out for not being involved in something that we had no business being involved in, or just, I don't know. I mean, bottom line, people just ain't like me, and I personally don't give a fuck because I don't fuck with them either. Period. Crystal clear. We don't have to be confused about it. Nothing. They don't fuck with me, and I don't fuck with them. Flat out. And I ain't got to offer no caveat. I don't like your ass. You don't like me. We good. But for you to get called out just for being yourself, I'm like, really? So you can't do this. Yeah, Hanifah, you coming up? You got some smoke for us, sis?
Yeah, but real quick, while we have that up, man, Hanifah, Nailah, thank you for being here so much. Knowledge and Relationships M3 is in the building as well. Thank you all for stopping by. We were touching on the weekly recap, just going over the YouTube streets as we had seen them over the weekend. But of course, over the weekend, it had been a little messy in those streets. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link if she really has smoke for Rico. But I really don't think Hanifah got no smoke.
I just wanted to come. I want to come up and talk to the sister.
And AR ain't got no smoke. Hiding. But real quick, Rico,
I know you got some thoughts.
Since you mentioned it, Rico, and I saw this somewhere. If God loves me, why am I always in Facebook jail? Why are you always in Facebook jail? What are you doing to defend black women that get you blocked up all the time?
Well, I actually had the funny thing about this very intelligent black woman. I'm not going to shout. I don't know if she wants me to shout out her name. And actually, I have some friends in the places where I always get locked up at because I don't know how to do the creativeness of the insulting. So I can do the vitriolic insult. I can do the bark, the biting, all of that. But I don't know how to color it so that either I'm not, and literally I saw the string. It's like bullying, hate, bullying, because if I'm gonna say an expletive, I'm gonna spell it correctly. I want you to know what I'm saying and with that energy. And that's usually always what it's like, damn, and they try to tell me, no, you got to spell it like this. You got to put this emoji so people will know what you're saying, but, you won't get, police and they can't report you and so on and so forth. And I just, sometimes I'll see something that'll strike a nerve and then I just go at it so fast before I have a chance to edit it. And like a couple of times I've gotten into trouble where I'll see a stream and I'll even make a post about it. Like, just some really toxic stuff. And it ends up, fighting against oftentimes people of the manosphere ideology, and I don't even know if I'm using that correctly. Maybe I should say red pill ideology. But it just always, I think the longest I've ever been out, I think I made it to 10 days once. Yeah. And then I crossed the line again.
Jeez.
8. Another 2 months. Like,
can't get right, man.
Yeah, constantly. And I tried to create burners, but the crazy part about I got like 4 accounts, right? So I like, one of y'all motherfuckers is snitching.
Burner
Because
accounts.
when one of y'all get caught, how come all of us end up in jail? So that's why I say my burners is snitching on my regular account. And then I'd be really mad because my account with my family and kids, they be posting stuff and I can't even I can't do nothing because I'm in jail. I can only read it.
Your burners are burnt.
Yeah, because they all somehow or another, Facebook got them all connected and said, if any one of these mofos say something out of line, lock them all up. Dang. And literally all of them. So I'm like, somebody told me I got to make a whole new burner from another IP address. So I'm like, so I can use that one to stay in and out of jail.
And JP, that tagline was just from a Facebook meme. If God loves me, why I'm always in Facebook jail. It's like a play on some. There was some book. If God loves me, then why did something like why did mommy divorce daddy or something? It's something like that. But they just transposed it and said, why am I always in Facebook jail? So
And I did want to say this too because I did watch another stream earlier too. It's and again, like I said, this is no smoke session. Come on up, Hanifah. We'd love to hear from you.
She don't want no smoke with us.
Huh?
She don't want no smoke with us.
No, but I want to hear her thoughts on what I'm about to pivot to is this whole likes views thing because, and I did hear another content creator, and it was. I mean, I always felt that way, like for us, we get likes, views, monetize. We don't give a shit. Say what I gotta say, get my views, my points, my feelings out. You like it or you don't. We can get 5 views. We can get 5. Be nice if we get 5,000, but I'm not gonna modulate my integrity to get that. And I heard this other content creator say, and it was very true. It's like, I'm the substance. I'm not an empty vessel. I'm not the noise. So people sometimes will conflate subs, views with value. And that's not the same thing. So I don't care. You can have all the fanboys, fangirls, whatever you want. Send them over here. Please send them. Please. The last thing I wanted to smoke, but I will relish that motherfucking shit. I will relish because you're not going to modulate my views. You're not going to change my views. And if you want to come over here trying to defend shit against my community, I'm prepared. All day, every day. So people going to go, well, you misunderstood. No, I ain't misunderstood shit. Because it's the same thing I told you with that other black white supremacist is that I know not today, Hanifah, not today. One day, but not today. People try to defend that I'm like, you can't keep doing it. You can't keep excusing. What was the poet? Was it Maya Angelou? When someone shows you who you are,
believe them.
It's like why do we keep? We the only people that seem to do that. They keep twisting ourselves into a pretzel to give grace where grace is not deserved or warranted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are we giving grace where people ain't made an apology? I never understood that. So yeah, I can hold a fucking grudge, but it's like people like, well, you got to give grace. Well, they got to ask for it. But we'll just go out and we'll go, oh well, I'm sorry for them. I'm like, they didn't say they were sorry.
Hold up, Rico, real quick.
Even people who didn't say they were sorry for something that was offensive, maybe they meant it.
Yeah, but Rico, real quick, 2 things. One, to the point you actually just made. I actually think that spiritual systems and religions actually speak to extending grace because grace isn't about the receiver, it's about the giver. It's about taking that strain off of me to try to police an external party. And we have Mr. AR on the stage. How you feeling, sir?
It's about that smoke about the brain.
Hey, you know what we think about that, AR? This is what we think about that.
There you go.
But that needs to be done, right?
Yeah, it does.
That really does. That needs to be done. We're on this platform, and I'm very grateful. You two.
Yeah, put Hanifah up. She's still teasing me. Yes, I'm still mad about that, Hanifah. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. But I'm just grateful we have this platform where we're able to come on here and connect with people from all over. You know, even though Google and YouTube, y'all are y'all on the wrong side though. But anyway, but yeah, man, we need to take this real serious. That we're able to come on here and and actually these YouTube streets and beats, whatever. It really made me think of the people who I will go back and forth with, and really like Rico and other people as well, and just say, nah, we ain't doing that no more. We're not. If and also if I disagree with you, I can agree to disagree, right? Let some things go, like, okay, and when I say something, you let it go or come at me. But we got other people from other races talking about black men ain't this and that, and black men are supporting that.
Hey, real quick, sorry to interrupt you. Also, I'm gonna let you finish, but we also want to bring up the lady, JP.
Hello, gentlemen. How's your spirit? Can you hear me?
How's your spirit? You sound well.
Fantastic. Good to see y'all. Go ahead. I'm gonna give all the smoke to all the men. Go ahead.
Okay. But AR, you did right, because that was like what I was talking about earlier. It's like, we're allowing people to come into our space and to speak to us in a disparaging way. Now they try to be slick and crafty about it, but they're still talking down to us, and we allow it, so they're emboldened and they're encouraged to speak about us in those spaces. And not just black men, the black women. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, nah. Since you need to check yourself with some of the language. And like I said there and said, was for me to sit there today and watch on a stream an unambiguously black woman proudly declare, about as dark as your t-shirt, AR, proudly declare, I don't call myself black.
But hey, Rick, that's what I meant to push back on your colorism.
In the back chat, who was that in the back chat?
Nah, I ain't gonna say no name. Go ahead, Arshawn. I want your pushback.
No, if you put in the back chat, I want to know who that is.
But
that's someone else.
But that's the second time you mentioned that they denied their blackness, and you hinge that on their skin color. Like that's colorism, because it doesn't matter what shade you are.
Black,
yeah, right. The idea is not tied to your melanin.
You're right. Okay, I that's one thing. Arshawn, I tell you, I'm about apologizing and being corrected. It shouldn't matter how dark she is, but it just did bother me visually seeing that. And I get the whole I'm a human. I get the whole I'm a world citizen, but I'm like, with every other people leaning in proudly into their identity, right? So you don't hear Irish Americans say I'm not Irish or I'm not European. You don't hear other ethnicities not proudly claiming their heritage, their culture, their background, everything. And understand that as African Americans, we don't have that culture. The only thing we really do have from our history being torn from us is our blackness. That's the one unifying thing that we can all proudly claim. And we went generations to build up a sense of pride, up to James Brown. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, because for so many generations, it was beaten into us that it was a bad thing. And now to watch somebody in 2022, I'm like, so you just want to be anything but black.
I'm sorry, I agree. I'm sorry, Rashawn. I agree with Rico. There's some people that's like blacker than. See this? I have light on here.
Don't do it. Not the colorism. Don't come back to the colorism. Don't come back to it.
We gonna get you right.
We just corrected. We just corrected the colorism. Don't come back to it.
But he's thinking the same way I'm thinking.
So are you trying to say? Like, we're going to come back. We're going to get JP in and come back to this conversation, but we're going to let her get in. But I'm going to write this. I'm going to write a note, and we're going to come back to this so we can unpack it. Yep. Go ahead, JP. What else our smoke?
First of all, my smoke for you, Rashawn and Rico, is I've been begging and pleading with you trolls to be Monday and Friday in some other spot, but you got your narrow behinds over here. It's cool. I get it. I feel no. I do feel some type of way, but we family. We gonna handle that behind the scenes as a family should. AR, you are, and I'm sorry. Look, I'm looking over here. You're over there. AR, you are coming into the family. My brother, don't be like these two. I don't want to have to put a. Oh, you see, Rico got a drink to deal with me, so you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm a different kind of. I feel some type of way, but I'm gonna let it go. That's giving grace for myself, because I'm okay. But now neither Rico nor AR are wrong here. Well, I think that the problem is the way in which they say it. But what they're saying is you want to be black until you ain't got to be, until it's time to be black, right? You black, but you like hip hop black. You are Jefferson's black. You black on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then every other day. Right. And then every other day you Nigerian, Canadian, or something else. You understand? Like that part, we don't ever get to give it up for anything. There's no like silver lining in there. Well, I was born in America, but I was born to a couple of outside such and suches who came over just a generation ago. So it's the arrogance factor that comes with it. That's the problem. What do you say?
Yeah.
Side note.
Oh, good.
How to say she's black at all, but in that. Oh yeah,
but it is just problematic because my thing is I'm not telling anybody because like I said it's kind of a for me like I said it says like I don't think of myself as pro-black, but I clearly know I'm not anti-black. Because I know that both things exist. You have some people that are very pro-black, black everything, black, and I know throughout the world that anti-blackness exists. They're both a real thing. So while I'm not this, I'm damn sight not that. I'm certainly not that. I'm black. I don't think that everything needs to be black, but I know I'm unambiguously black. That is how I present to the world. That is how I was born. That is what's put on my birth certificate. I didn't choose it. The world chose it for me when I was brought into this world. The world assigned me Negro male. I didn't have a fucking say in it. So I lived that lived experience. So for people who either you went through life with that lived experience, to be in such a sense of denial about it, as if there's no differences being born black or white or Asian or Latino. You know there are fucking differences. We all know there are differences. Knock it off acting like that. And it's not the victim Olympics or but it's just differences. The world, I could be the smartest person in the world, but people will look at me and not think that at first sight. Or people who get to jump in and out of blackness, like you said, when they're comfortable. Oh, it's good today, but not tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I find that problematic. And especially the biggest issue I have is I'm like, why are these people consistently speaking to our community?
These people.
If you or this person, if you are not a part of the community.
These people.
Why are you trying to start diaspora wars on a Monday, man?
Why this person can't keep our community out their mouth if they're not for example, I'm a supporter of the LGBT community, but as an ally, but let me finish, sir. Okay, I get it. Can I finish, AR? Okay. What I'm sitting there saying is I would never be in front because allyship, I believe, comes from behind. I'm an ally of the immigrant community because it affects my family. I understand you.
Shouldn't you be an advocate for the immigrant community? There's a hold on. There's all kinds of
allyship for me is you don't get to be out front. You get to be back unless you're of that community. I'm a supporter of women's rights, but I don't get to be out front. I know.
Yeah, but when do you become an advocate when it's your people, right? When do you become an advocate for the immigrant community because it's your people? When do you become an advocate for black men because they're your people, right? You go up from allyship to advocate to something else, or do we just stay allies? That's like being friends forever.
But even as an advocate, you don't have the right to be in the forefront because it's not your lived experience. You have to allow people who live the experience, you have to allow their voices to be heard because that's the problem. Oftentimes, allies will take over a space and they will warp the fucking message. So like when white people speak up for black people, they telling the message that we sitting around like, what the fuck are they talking about? That, so you have to let the people, so when they talk about allyship for Native Americans, support them. What can I do to support financially? What letters can I write? How can I come do this? But they need to be out front to speak because it's their lived experience. So when I see people not of the community out front, those are snakes. They're feeding off of that community. They're feeding off of them, whether it's the Asian American community. I'm like, no, it should be an Asian American. Whether it's women, it should be a woman. That's not me, yours, or AR or Arshawn's lived experience. It's like, yeah, I think it's unfair, but it shouldn't be a fucking man up there speaking for women. That's not my lived experience. You would have to be at JP. Now I can be a supporter and an ally. If I'm out front and you behind, well, women want this and women want that, and you back there like, what the hell is he talking about?
Okay, but
that's where the problem comes in.
Well, to that argument, though, don't we have some similar lived experience on which you can advocate for all of us?
Sure, if you're just talking about humans, but I'm saying if we're talking about specific things, topics. So there are specific conversations around women. There's specific conversations around immigrants. There's specific conversations around Black people. There's specific. So when you're talking about a specific conversation about a group or classification of people, you must have a person from that classification be in the conversation. It is unfair. It would be unfair for you or me, JP, to speak for white people. What the fuck are we speaking for them for? It would be unfair. It's just unfair. It's just like, I think this is what their problem is, but I really don't know because I haven't lived it. It just would be unfair. I could say, as a man, but I'm still a Black man. I'm not a white man. So if I can talk for men's issues, I can't talk for white men's issues. That's where I need to fall back. Go on up there, Chad. Get your shit off. Say what you got to say, Chad. If you don't speak up, then I guess you good. We can roll. I'm going to call Tyrone. Now we're going to switch it over to Black man's issues. Whatever
not Tyrone,
the case may be. But you can't sit there and be out in the forefront. And when you're repeatedly talking about a community that you're not involved or not involved, you are not of that community. I find that to be wildly problematic. It's like you don't have nothing else to talk about. So if AR, you can't be sitting here talking about women issues every day as a man because it's like, what the fuck does he know about women other than what that up, B?
Go ahead, jump in, AR. Jump in, man. Jump in.
You told him that.
I think that
I'm trying to get you.
Threw my thoughts out my head. It was so. How you got it to be so quick? Wow. Yeah, that just threw me off. I think,
So now I get what you're saying, though, Rico. Go ahead. You got it, AR. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, while I have it in my head, Rico. The thing is that this is the issue. Okay, concerning with YouTube and all these other spaces out there, the Black people are supporting these other people that's from the outside. That when I seen Black men ain't, you know what? All the Black men were in the comments supporting that and giving the donations. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna get ridiculed in this. So you know what? It's this. So you know what? Black men are allowing women from somewhere else to say Black men ain't this and that, and they're not even in this country, right? To say that, and Black men are in the chat supporting it over whatever amount of like things like over 500 people is in the chat supporting it. Black people. I didn't see white people, Asian, only So and so I'm just like, okay, well, you know what? Fine. Maybe Black men ain't. You know what? That's fine. No problem. And every time a Black guy goes on those panels, they're good guys. They take care of the kids. You saying Black men ain't, but you have like 20 guys on the panel that are good. So I think that's really the issue I have with that is that we're supporting it. So that's why I just eject myself in the conversation. Like and this is not one time. This is multiple times. If you check that particular person's channel, it's nothing but Black people listening to her say that.
Yeah, I agree.
She's speaking based off of what happened to her. She had a Tyrone that So
no, I agree, and in particularly the problem that probably bothers me the most, it be Black men that be supporting this shit. It be some women too, but it is by and large black men. I'm like, brothers.
Well, let's figure this out, right? Why is that? Number one, before you do that, JP, I have this written down. I think what we need to do, because we're small YouTubers, so I get notification from my other account that I went live or something like that a week later. The notification is not being sent out. So you got to go on Instagram. You got to, because I don't even know. I only knew because Rashawn told me, but I didn't get no notification. Yeah. So if you can start, because I want to support you too, but I don't know when everyone's going live at different times. I have this phone. Where's my other phone? I have this phone. I have this phone. I have this phone. I got my computer over here. I'm trying to support everyone, but so that's what I'm saying.
Understood. One of the things that I have said before is it's hard in this space because a lot of people have been knocked around, right? So when you ask them for information, it's hard for them to give it freely because they've given it freely already thinking that they were going to get support. And then in return, they've either been used or manipulated in some way and not gotten anything from it. So I try to just make sure whenever I know that I'm going to actually be like I'll send out a, hey, y'all, I'm planning on being live today thingy. But you see, this is what I want to talk about. I'm disabled according to Western whatever, right? And so in that regard, I don't always make it when I say that I'm going to be live, or if I'm on time, I'm late, right? My community knows that and they're understanding. They fuss at me behind the scenes, on scene. As soon as I start a theme song, Beat 'em Up Barry is ready to come at me. That's Queen from over on Knowledge and Relationships. But I accept that. Knowing coming into this space, it's a media space. I think between just being on IG or their Facebook to being up here, right? Where it's one step closer to, someone else said it the other day, he called it the Chitlin. 2 people now have called it the Chitlin circuit. This is one step closer to actual media. And people aren't thinking about that when they say things, how they put their words together. Rico and I have been around the military, and so you have to be an ambassador some way, right? So for us, it's a little bit easier in that way, although Rico's retired and ain't got no real plans of getting into anything else. So sip your life away, brother. I'm going with my cannabis wherever I go next, right? So, but we have to be more... when you said giving grace, we do have to allow people a soft place to land. But then there are some people who don't deserve that respect because they get out of pocket. Them religious ones who start slinging their perspectives, want to call you the devil or evil or that type of thing. Them, you can kick rocks and stay left field of me all day, every day.
Yeah. And Rico said something really powerful, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, a lot of the time, I don't find out about people people introduce me to other people. Now you're not dealing with them no more. Now you don't want me to support them. But I found out about them. You told me all these great things about them. So now if I'm in there, I'm going to listen. Everyone is watching. I don't care what happened. I don't care whatever. I'm supporting who I want to support. I'm a consumer. And if you don't like the consumer paying forward, it's fine. Block me from your channel. But I'm going to support who I want. If you see me, I know I put a sunflower. I put sunflower, or I'm supporting someone's channel. If you don't like them, I don't give a fuck. Sorry to curse on your channel, but I don't care. That's it. I'm going to support who I want to support. Stop telling me. You know how many messages I got? Don't go over there. Don't do this and that. Call me. I support who I want to support. If you tell me not to support someone, that's it. Now, if someone is bullying you, right, talking about your family, then I get it. Okay? Then I get it. But other than that, if for instance, I'm really cool with Rico, Rico, Rashawn, JP. Someone tells me, hey, AR, this person is making fun of my mom. I mean, in crazy ways. Then, okay, that's a character issue. Then I can't mess with them. Especially if your mom's not on YouTube. So, I mean, because, listen, you're going to say it to the wrong person. Okay?
But for me...
Hey, real quick, Rico, hold that thought real quick. I just want to shout out to the people in the chat real quick. The people I'm familiar with, if you see that you're a moderator, JP, Hanifah, everybody, Intellectual Soapbox, thank you for being here. Tristan Draper, thank you for stopping through. Everybody that I know is being made a moderator. That way everybody's got a level playing field that I know. That way all of these fake accounts that have been popping up in all the different chats are not in here sowing discord. Because I've seen a fake JP. I've seen a fake Linsky. So anybody that I'm familiar with, I'm making sure that you're a moderator. Not that I need you to police the chat. You don't have to stay and work. I'm not trying to put you to work. I just want to identify you up front, that I know who you are. That way any fake stuff that comes from all this back and forth, I know that that's you. And the one that's not a moderator isn't. So that's
our version of saying you Instagram verified. That's your blue check mark.
That's your blue check.
That's the best way to describe it, right?
Go ahead, JP, and then Rico, you had a thought.
You also
breaking up, JP. You froze?
Dang it.
Give her a second.
Yeah. Oh, don't treat me that way. I got me a little mental thing going on right now. Listen, y'all. I done been through a lot, okay? I don't care what y'all say. I will take my little Metro PCS service right now. But what I was saying was, the same way that you can click to make someone a moderator in the YouTube thing, that's how you figure out whether or not they're legitimately that person in a pinch, right? Yeah, because if you click on it, it takes you to their channel. If you go to that channel and you know JP has 200 and something subscribers, and that person's only got 10. Well, shit, that ain't JP. That kind of thing.
I didn't even think about that.
There was a couple of things I want to say was too, again, because this is like I said, the hypocrisy was deep. It was deep because, again, like you said, they said with I listened to it not actively and thoughtfully. Yes, I did come into it with a bias because there's certain people I just don't fuck with. I'm just not going to try to hide that.
Real quick, Rico. Real quick interruption. Yes, want to bring to the stage our sister, Hanifah Nailah.
Hey, Hanifah.
Hello.
That was her. A greeting?
That was her indoor voice.
Yeah, I know.
Your sound's low, baby. Else. You got some Metro sound if I got Metro service.
So let me just say this while we're waiting on.
You sound like a mouse. You sound like a mouse.
What I was going to say was, like I said, and again, like I told Arshawn and a couple of other content creators, I was like, there's no innocence here. In the middle of this, there's rarely any innocence in war. Even in the real war that's going on, there's no innocence. Yes, there's some issue with Russia. There's no innocence ever in war. So my thing is, I'm like, people are playing victim now, but some of the messiness that they're claiming that they saw after the fact, they saw when they fucking went in there. So why are you sitting there fainting? What are you clutching your pearls for? But it was beneficial to you, so you look past it. Mm. I ain't crazy, because that messiness didn't just start when y'all joined. It was always there, but you wanted to be a part of it as long as you could benefit from it. But now when it's no longer beneficial to you, you want to get up on your high horse and be like, how dare, and everybody should be like, no, miss me with that bullshit. Because again, this is how, while they'll call one person a manipulator, this is how they're trying to manipulate the audience as well. I've seen people come up on that stream and try to say how subs need to stay out of it. Oh, they're going to make you choose. Oh, really? Really? You're going to make me choose. I may not make the choice you want. Be careful about that. But you shouldn't, I would never, if my content and my message doesn't make you choose, then that's fine. You don't have to, so that whole concept of they were feeding, they were eating off the beast as long as it benefited them. When it no longer did, then all of a sudden everybody's supposed to be in an uproar. And I get it. I get the people that pushed back, fought back, spoke up, did this and everything else. My only two real exceptions was, again, there's no innocence here. You're all problematic. All right. And then you can't start a war and then decide you want to run out and ask for allies, because you should have went to your allies before you started the war and asked them what they thought and maybe heeded their counsel. But if you didn't want to and you told your allies, shut up. If I'm America and Japan wants to start a war and they come to me and Tell them, well, I shouldn't do this. They tell me shut up. Well, when China kicking your ass, don't call me. You told me shut up. So I'm gonna be quiet when China start kicking you, whatever the case may be. You can't do that. And then, well, nobody did anything because you didn't want.
Real quick, Rico, real quick. I want to bring up intellectual soapbox, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey. What's up, Auntie? What's going on? Sister Hanifah, AR, I'm doing well, Auntie. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, AR. You know
What's up, man?
You know what I mean? AR, you invited me to your show yesterday. We're going to have some beef about that, but I'll talk to you later. You know what I mean? Rico, R3, I see you, R3.
I mean, Rico and Rashawn schedule would have been my normal time, so hey, we all in this together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
For the... You know what? All of y'all. Everybody. Now.
Oh, messy petty ass.
No, but Hanifah, wait. Everybody wait. Hanifah's still trying to... We can barely hear you. It is so low. If there's no noise, we hear you.
You sound like you tied up in the basement.
It's like you watching Nemo through, like, just keep.
Okay, MrBest.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. You got the flow.
Wait. Is that better?
There it is.
I had my headphones in. I was trying to be cute.
Yeah, you're beautiful now.
Fantastic.
I came to give Rico the smoke. I'm sorry. Peace to everyone on the panel as usual. How are you guys feeling today, man?
Pretty good.
I'm good. I came in on the end. I came in to just tell Rico and Ashan, and everybody else on the panel to stay out of it. That's all I got to say is stay out of it. And this is me. Maybe this is my hood upbringing. Y'all know when you grow up in the hood and there's a war, and if you have a cousin whose house you hang out at all the time, and they tell you, somebody's like, no, the block is hot. What do? That's the spot you just don't go there. You just don't, because there's literally bullets flying. You could be there innocently and be like, well, that's my boy. I'm staying, no one is going to tell me. But at the end of the day, that's how you feel. Then you're going to have to take the bullets that you get, because then you're not being smart and you're not using wisdom.
And what they give too. You stay out of it as long as they allow you to. Now, when they drag you into it and you ain't had nothing to do with it, because I think me and Arshawn, you couldn't have got more neutral than we had been.
No, I agree. And here's the thing: if it's not a literal drag, like they're not dragging you by your sweater or by your hair. If it's not a physical drag, it's literally a virtual drag. So you still have a choice to make. You could decide that you're either going to starve it or you're going to feed it. And when you feed it, right, then you are responsible for the growth of it, because you are the one giving it nourishment. You know what I'm saying? So you still have a decision to make. I said on my last live, listen, no one takes your power. No one takes your power to choose away from you. No one.
Yeah.
They might have an effect on the options you have, but they can never take away your ability to choose.
Yeah.
So I understand you, but you still have a choice to make. It's not a literal drag, because literally, if you're not grabbing me by my sweater or my clothes, where I can, fight back physically, then I'm
easy for you.
Sorry, if they're not like physically dragging you, like physically to where you have to defend yourself physically, then to me it's really not worth it. But that's me. And a lot of it has to do with the way that I choose to protect myself and my family, right? Because I tell people all the time, we fight back over here, right? And when I say we, I'm talking about we as a family as a whole. You get what I'm saying? And for me, I know if I get involved in anything, then the man in my life gonna have to enter into it. And do I want to do that? That's not how you get. That's not smart. Yeah. That's not smart. So there's a lot of factors to be considered in it. So that's why I tell Ashan, I'm saying it to Rico, if you can, like just stay out of it. Now, there's a conversation to be had though. There is a conversation to be had about complacency and being complicit in situations. And all of us need to look at ourselves.
Yep.
Every single person needs to look at themselves and see the part that they may have played in whatever, and then take accountability and say, what does that look like for myself moving forward? Right? If you've been in conversations where you should have spoke up, okay, you don't get to say, well, that person shouldn't have said that. You can say that, but then you also have to look at you and why were they comfortable coming to you talking like that? Right? And what role did you play? Did you stand up when you were supposed to? And when I speak, I'm speaking for all of us, right? So it's a matter of looking at what part did I play in this? Because it's easy to point the finger and say, JP, if you wasn't like this, then I wouldn't be like this. It's harder for us to look and say, okay, JP was like this, and when she said this or did this, what did I do? What was my response? And that's the conversation I want us to have around everything that's going on. Because we're seeing a lot of, I was comfortable when it was good. I was good when it was good for me. Right? And now that it's not good for me, or whatever that looks like, now I'm going to say it's because you're the bad person. And again, this is all of us. All we have to look at ourselves. I've been in situations, because this have made me even look at myself. And how do I want to move going forward? What do I want to align with, right? And even in my own life, I've seen where when I was in the church at one time, there was a situation that happened. If I could go back and undo it, I would. But in that moment, and I know how you could be so caught up in everything that you don't even realize that you missed an opportunity to stand up for someone or to speak up. You don't realize it. You realize it in retrospect, and that's okay, because there's still something to be learned from your retrospection, right? There's still something to be learned from there. If something happened in the past, that doesn't mean that you can't learn something from it, right? So I've been in situations in my 20s where I could look back and say, wow, I should have probably did this different. And it's no different now. What part do you play? And how do you intend to not play that role going forward if you ever find yourself in a situation like that? But I say to anyone, you see bullets flying, if you are not a part of it, and if you ain't trying to pick a side, right? Leave the country. The Ukrainians?
Yes.
No, I'm saying that the Ukrainians who they might love Ukraine and they might have family in Ukraine, right? And they just don't want no beef. What are they doing? They're finding place of refuge. They're leaving. Now, when the dust settles, they're going to probably go back and build their country because they love their country. But right now, they're like, I don't want a war. I just want peace. So what I'm going to do is get my family and get out the way. Now, there are Ukrainians there that say, no, I'm about to pick up arms because I'm choosing a side, period. But if you are not that person where you're choosing a side, stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. And it's as simple as this. Rico, if you are talking smack, let me tell you what putting your arms in putting myself in harm's way would look like in the virtual space. You talking smack about someone, and I'm in the chat section talking about, yeah. I am putting myself in harm's way because the block is hot and I choose to hang out on it. You get what I'm saying? So we have to be, those of us who ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and those of us who are thinking on a higher level of consciousness or vibrating on a different frequency from all of it, we have to understand what that looks like and use wisdom. And provide a space like this. This is and if y'all notice, I don't go up on the people's platforms no more. Rico and Sean, I respect you guys, right? So I'm here and I'm having this conversation, and I hope it don't get taken the wrong way. You know what I mean? But those of us who are really not involved just need to stay out of it. We have opinions, right? There's been observations that I've made a long time ago, right? A long time ago. And there are predictions that are coming true now that I made a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Because Stevie Wonder could have seen certain things coming. But it is what it is. You just stay out of it. We don't have to get involved is what I'm trying to say. It's not worth it. And I know for me, it's not worth me dragging my family into this virtual space like that. It's just not worth. It's not wise as a woman. It's just not. So that's my piece in it. I mean, you guys could give me pushback.
No, I actually
very well
don't have
said.
any pushback for you.
No.
I actually am taking your advice. What I'm doing is I'm going to just even stay out of the chat spaces, since that's where I keep getting trouble at. So anybody where there's beef, I'm even going to stay out of their chat. So I've unsubscribed to a couple of people that I followed because I wanted to see the mess. So I didn't want to be the mess. I just wanted to see the mess, but that wasn't even safe for me. So I'm unsubscribing, pulling out. I've got to be more deliberate about where I spend my time, because again, if I'm getting called out for just sitting on a panel with somebody else and not even saying anything about a person, I'm like, that's lame.
I really appreciate your message, Hanifah. You're absolutely right. Obviously, I let some comments that were said over the weekend, because I mean, basically, I felt a certain kind of way about certain content creators even before the mess, when everything was all kumbaya. So these feelings that I'm speaking, I had these feelings way back then, but I kept them in check out of respect for other content creators and their platforms. So now when the war hits and it's fine, and I stayed completely out of it, I was warning Arshawn, stay away from this, stay away from that, and other people stay away from it. Don't even comment, don't do anything, because they're going to twist it any kind of way. And when I bend over backwards to do it, and I still get it, just I let it bait myself into it, because I'll be honest with you, it was because I felt a certain way about certain people way in advance, and I felt like things that happened when everything was kumbaya, they got away with some things that, as a black man, as a black person, I take serious exception to.
Hey Rico, let's get intellectual soapbox in real quick.
Yeah, I'm done.
He been quiet.
Peace and love, family. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Y'all know what it is.
Yeah, what's going on, brother?
I love what Sister Hanifah just shared. You know what I'm saying? Well, Sister Hanifah's always sharing some great stuff, man. She be tearing it down wherever she goes.
Oh, peace to you.
Definitely. I will say this though. You know, I think the thing is the fact that people have to understand that this is only YouTube and this is only entertainment. I think people taking it way too less. People taking it way too far. And here's the thing, right? I think what people have to understand is that you're never ever going to see this person ever in life, ever. You're never going to see them. Nobody's pulling up. Uh-oh, that brother getting down. You're getting busy on the
Ain't
food.
he getting down, man? Come on, AR.
I see you, AR. You know what I mean? That's the big boy in him. I see him. Big
We're
boy
gonna have
salute.
a foodie show, AR.
Yeah.
He got the big piece of chicken too.
He's supposed to. You know what I mean? Grown man. You know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I think that the thing is that people, you know, they have to understand nobody is really going to do anything, you know, seriously on here, and neither should they. If you do not like he got the bib and all that. I see you, baby.
He
you know what I mean? He got a restaurant. He had a restaurant right now. He ain't even here. He ain't even here right now. You know what I mean? You know, with that being said, you know what I mean? I think that, you know, YouTube needs to be used for what YouTube is for, which is creating great content, you know, entertaining people. And if you can enlighten them, that's good too. You maybe cannot. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you got to take the meat, spit out the bones. Sometimes you don't want none of it. You don't want the meat, the bones, nothing. You know what I mean? Sometimes some people information, you don't want anything to do with it. With that being said, y'all going off. With that being said, you got the cup. Oh, you got the cup. I see you, baby. You know, with that being said,
and this dude,
he giving me commentary. I love it. This is content. This is what YouTube is supposed to be. See, we're creating content right now. This is what we're supposed to do. Now, you know, in order, you know, let me finish my point, so I can let everybody else rock out. But I think that if you don't like somebody's content, you don't like their stance, you don't like the way that they're doing their love life or whatever else may be, which is really none of your business, just leave. You know what I mean? You don't got to do all this other extra stuff. You don't got to be pulling up all these different receipts and all that, because everybody can pull up receipts on something. You know what I'm saying? No, none of us are squeaky clean. Okay, we all have a past. We all have bad habits. We all have different things that we may have done or do or did, and it's called life, people. Okay, life. All right. As long as you're not murdering somebody, you haven't raped somebody, and you ain't messing with no kids. You know what I mean? You ain't out here stealing. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you're knocking down. I don't care. I don't care how many partners you may have had or have or whatever. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care who you're dating. I don't care about their age. I don't care about their gender. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're monogamous, if you're poly, you got a side girl, you got a side man. I don't care. Okay? That's not what I came on YouTube for. I came on YouTube to create content and have fun. You know what I mean? And to build with you guys. And that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. Anybody who's not using YouTube for that, understand that you are, especially if you're attacking content. This is just a PSA, okay? You don't gotta take my advice. You know what I mean? I'm no guru. I'm no specialist. But this is just a kind of a, maybe you want to think about. I'll say it like that. Maybe you should think about this, right? If YouTube is a business, right? It's a business. If you are attacking a content creator who is bringing YouTube a good amount of financial income, who is basically bringing YouTube a good following, do you think that YouTube is going to side with you or they're going to side with them? They're going to side who's making them the most money. They're going to side who's giving them the most views, because YouTube is what? A business. Okay? YouTube is business. Why do you think that once you get a certain amount of views or you make a certain amount of money, they give you a plaque? YouTube gives you a plaque. I've seen on the Breakfast Club, YouTube gives you a plaque. And basically the plaque says, "Oh, thank you for being a part of our business." Basically, that's what it legitimately says. It probably has the number of views you have and everything else, whatever. I'm not gonna get into logistics of that. But it's gonna say, you know what I mean, thank you for being a part of our team. You know what I mean? Because you are now a team member. You are now part of their business. You are now a necessity. You know, you're now an asset. And if you're trying to go against people who are assets, you know what I mean, in somebody's business, they will weed you out by any means possible. And with YouTube, all they have to do is take your channel. That's the easiest thing for them to do. They're not going to have a discussion with you. There will be no meeting. You know what I mean? There'll be no point of contact. And if you do contact them, you know what I mean, it'll be a whole process you're going to have to go through, and you're probably not going to get your channel back anyway. So all the hard work you're going to put into this, you know what I mean, just think about what are you doing this for? And everything that you're doing, is it worth it? You know what I mean? And that's all I want to say. Just think about that. That's all I want to say. And I'm always neutral. My channel's always neutral. Y'all already know that. I ain't got no beef for nothing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? But y'all remember my football and basketball analogy, the 5-on-1 and all that. I ain't got to get into all that, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, real quick, everybody. Real quick point of business. Everybody in the chat, I just wanted to let you know again, because I know there's been several new people. The people I'm familiar with, comfortable with, again, JP taught me a new tool that I can check. But when I don't have time to check, I am making all of you moderators. Now, what I don't want you to think is that I'm putting you all to work. You don't have to police the chat. You don't have to do the like, share. I appreciate it, Quantum, but I mean, yes, do not feel obligated in any way to do any of that maintenance piece. I am identifying the people that I know and I'm comfortable with, because I have seen a lot of fake accounts, including JP, seen a fake JP, seen a fake Linsky, and then content creators are reacting to them as if they're the real person. I've seen that happen too. So I really want to make sure all of you are mods, and also that just so, again, it makes the chat look better too. I like all the blue. Anyway.
Give Hanifah a wrench. Put her to work.
Yeah, she already. Nah. We're not putting Hanifah. Not our sister. We ain't putting our sister to work. We making AR work so you can quit eating on screen.
Yeah, I know.
I know, AR. What is you eating, brother? You make it look like deliciousness. I feel some type of way.
He made a moldy bagel look good yesterday.
Mm-hmm. We can't hear you with all that food in your mouth.
Right, you got all that grease up on your chin and whatnot. We can't hear you.
We still can't hear him. He still got food in his mouth.
Oh, make Miss Summer a wrench. Give her a wrench.
Summer got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got everybody. Only person I didn't get was that new person from Germany. And if I see them enough, then, they might get one too. So, I mean, I just want to make sure all the people, I get my gang up, man. The Misfit moderators, man. We're going to get my gang up, man.
I will say this, though. This stuff will pass too. This nonsense will pass. It's going to get a little bit hotter. Then it's going to rubble. And to be honest with you, it's a good opportunity for you, if you're putting out some decent, qualified content. Not that, no one should be out here. To be honest with you, nobody should be out here. If you're out here just creating content strictly for a sub, you might be doing it wrong. You should be out here trying to get forth a message, say something of value, say something You know, I'm not saying it's got to be all positive and flowers and butterflies. It just has to be content of value. And a lot of these salaciousness content creators, I think they're going to burn themselves out. And you don't have to do anything but just sit by on the sideline and continue to crank positive. That's why I do love brother AR, JP, and Sister Hanifah. They just continue. And of course, you know, MrBest, continue to put out your content no matter what. Like I say, that's the long game. You try to come in and, I'm going to be a superstar and I'm going to shoot off like a rocket and I'm going to be hot. And, you know, it falls just as rapidly. So shoot for the long range, go for the slow build up. Because I would never, like I told Arshawn, I was like, I don't want to do the salaciousness because what happens when you won't have that anymore? You can't bring them over for all the salaciousness and all the fire. And then all of a sudden, when you don't have it anymore, it's like you're screwed. I'd rather have boring, not boring, but just content that's more thoughtful, decent. It is hard not to want to punch back when you've been punched. And I understand that.
We know,
we
Rico.
all got to do better. We all got to do better. One day, Hanifah, not today.
Yeah.
I always tell her one day, not today. But we I still try to, with me and Arshawn, like we still need to come back with decent content because I think that there are people who are just, I mean, I have a messy day where I want to do messy. The next day, I'm like, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah.
I just want something decent and I'm just sick of it. You know.
Now speak to this, Rico. Why you got a little bit more wind in you? I know you got more wind in you, so go ahead and tackle this talking point. MrBest has said that this stuff isn't real. It's YouTube, and Simma gave some pushback.
Yeah,
speak to that real quick.
I saw that earlier, and I think, well, I know there's some truth to it. There's a ring of truth to it. They talk about like IG and what it's doing to young teenage girls, and the content with the filters and everything. I think it can be harmful. I think that if you're not mentally well balanced and solid, you don't have a solid family, and you get too wrapped up into these social media spaces, it becomes your real world. It's hard for me to understand that someone would go that far and do it, but we hear more and more about these cases every day. I'll just tell anybody, watch your babies, especially your young teens, you know, because they're really making connections, and you know, and some people are making real connections online. You know, people are having like real relationships and they ain't even never met the person in real life. It's a real phenomenon and some real stuff. So you got to watch your baby. You got to try to give them an outlet for something, a way to unplug as much as possible.
Can I speak to that when Rico is done, please?
How to get away from it, but it's scary as hell. You know, I think about my grandkids and I'm like, I don't want them to get sucked into it, but it's another form of entertainment. It's like people have their favorite rap artists, the Kardashians, reality TV. You know, the internet, social media is just reality TV on your laptop. So,
hey, real quick, Rico, before Hanifah goes, I just want to bring somebody else to the stage. We have somebody that's known in these YouTube streets, CHICAGORilla. How you doing, young sir?
Rilla, what's good? How's your spirit, brother?
Nah, I'm old. I'm dusty. I'm tired.
I mean, you are all those things, but we still love you just the same. It's okay.
Is your balls wrinkled yet? If your balls ain't wrinkled, you good.
Yeah, gray hairs, all of that, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh
God.
Hey, listen, real spill. I just, I'm listening. Shout out to you, Rashawn. Shout out for all the content creators that are building. It's a lot of familiar faces up here. So salute to all of y'all, man. It's all love. But what I would say is, coming off this weekend, I mean, come on, man. I'd be remiss, and this probably be the only time I say anything about everything that's been going down all weekend. Like, let's keep it a beam, man. There are some real relationships that's developed on these over this platform. It's the equivalent in Big OG. You know me, man. I got the utmost respect, but it would be, for me to say that YouTube is just YouTube, it would be the equivalent of me saying, oh, it's just a phone. YouTube and this social media is the tool. I have been consistent since I came into space. Am I perfect at what I'm attempting to accomplish in this space? No. But a lot of what's going on, man, like it's some real live ish involved. People's families are being dragged. People are being doxxed left and right. Addresses are being put up. People are saying, oh, I got a real relationship with this person romantically, right? And then people are saying, I know this person's family, or I know this person's child. Let me tell you something. I'm a man with kids, right? I just, me and my boo thing, we've been together going on 6 years, right? But we just got married a couple weeks ago, right?
Congratulations to you.
Congrats.
Thank you, man. But let me make this point. My girl didn't listen, hear what I say. My girl didn't meet my kids until I was ready for her to meet my kids, because I don't bring everybody around my kids. There are people literally in these YouTube streets that are like, yo, I got connection with these people, and I got some of these connections with these people. Like some people where I've talked to their kids, I've sent their kids gifts, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Yo, fam, we gotta stop doing this. It's real. The whole YouTube ain't real. That talking point is to minimize everything else that folk do behind the scenes or in front of the camera that's dirty and nasty.
Okay, but then Rilla, you have to be honest about the whole thing.
No, wait, JP,
Hey, JP, let him finish his point.
Let me do this, because the truth of the matter is, people don't like certain people talking points, and that's cool. Attack the point, not the person. That's cool. But listen to what I'm saying. What happened this weekend got nasty. And ain't nobody said, you know what, I'm going to pause and I'm going to slow down. People still saying, I'm going to keep going. And you still got people in the background saying, well, it's just entertainment, so I'm going to keep supporting. It's nasty. It is. It's sad and it's nasty. And I ain't condoning it. I ain't excusing it. I ain't big up in none of it. And don't tell me, I'm not saying you, JP. That's not directed to you. I'm talking about anybody that's listening on it. Don't even begin to try and tell me about what network I'm affiliated with. I don't even want to hear that shit. Because if you want to attack the person that you disagree with on that network, attack that person. But for you to be sitting out here talking, I mean, people, man, listen, people, wives are being dragged into this, and people who call people, okay. Is we supposed to be black and building community or not? What we really doing? I don't care that you disagree with my point. Disagree with my point. Call me out on my point. Hold me accountable for my point. You got people out here doing some real nasty stuff, period. And I don't want to hear about both sides. I really don't. Put a stamp on it. Put an address on it. You got a problem with what somebody said? Put an address on it. Hold me accountable for what I done said. Put an address on it. But we people of experience, some of us on this panel, I'm looking at familiar faces. We are people of a particular experience. We got age and wisdom beneath us. And you got young heads looking. And these young goofies are wilding out because they think it's cute and fun and games. They playing with people real life. You got people sitting up here literally saying they take pleasure in ruining somebody else's life. And we still supporting that? We ain't finna call it out. We finna just say, oh, that's just YouTube. That's just YouTube. We checking on what ladies are. Okay, OG Rico, you know I rock with you, man. You had our conversation, and I know we definitely got some real work to do, and this plays into it. OG Rico, we really out here trying to check women on what they do with their poom poom?
Nope.
I care what another woman does with her poom poom, and I ain't servicing it. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nope.
What are we doing? We coddling, excusing behavior from people that we should just be calling it out for what it is. I get called out on mine all the time. That's a fact. All across YouTube, 7 ways to Sunday, up and down.
But one thing though, Rilla, is there are some of us who have called it out, whether we've done so publicly or privately. We have. And some of us, even before this shit blew up, we removed ourselves from it.
That's fair. I feel
we
that.
We removed us way before it blew up.
I do feel that.
And yet still got drug into it. I'm like, wait a minute. I left before y'all did.
I do feel that. I do feel
so
that.
It's like, you know,
I feel you on that, OG.
But a little bit of hip. And the thing is, what I said when I spoke to earlier, you can't stay with the toxicity longer than I do and then call me out if I left first.
Oh no. We ain't
That's all I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, not you. I'm just speaking to the
but here's the Here's the thing, OG. We supposed to be able to tell. I'm just strictly speaking on men. So JP, I know you want to get in too, but I'm just strictly speaking on men. If men have issues with other men, then you take it directly to that man. You do not start dragging everybody else and their mama in to your situation because you want to be Wendy Williams and smoke somebody out now. Now you want to spill tea. Now you want to spill tea. That's what we doing.
That 100%, and that's what I also.
I see the timer on me.
Even Saturday was.
I like that, Rashawn. I love that.
Everybody else into it. Obviously, we all see the parties that's going at war. You all were once aligned together. They were all once aligned together.
All right, gentlemen.
All have to accept some culpability in it. And I'm just like, why are you dragging people on? And Arshawn about to go at it.
Now, real quick, Rico.
The greatest for that. I love that.
Now, Chicago. Now, Hanifah tried to tap in right before you pulled up, so I want Hanifah to get her point, and then let me get JP because I'm always going to be ladies first. So, Hanifah, JP, and then we got AR.
Thank you.
So hopefully you can stick for a quick minute, Chicago.
I need to address something too once they're done.
All right, let's get the ladies in real quick.
Okay, thank you, Ashan. So I feel like peace to Rilla, because I know he just came to the panel, and congratulations on your marriage. What I wanted to speak to was, he kind of touched on it. So my pushback would have been for intellectual soapbox, because I cannot, in good conscience, say that this is just YouTube. You're never going to see these people in real life. And the reason why I can't do that is because I know of real life experiences where it trickled over from social media platforms where someone literally walked out their house and people were waiting for them based on something they said online. There's more than one situations I know of like that. And these are real people. So when I hear that, I usually like cringe a little bit, like, how do we not understand the same tool that we use to look up information on each other or attack each other can be used to find each other? Do we not understand that? Do we not see that playing out right now? So to just say you'll never see these people in real life, the world is not as big as we think. It really isn't. The United States is not really as big as we think, right? You never know. And not only that, if somebody is really determined to find you because you hurt their ego or you insulted their significant other, whatever that is, or they may have been at the edge and you said something to kind of tip them over, they will find you. There's no such thing as I'm never going to see you in real life. And I'm very passionate about that because I know of stories where it happened in real life. So I think it's very I think that it's very, what is the word I'm looking for? Not inappropriate, but irresponsible. That's the word. It's very, no, not disingenuous. We're not using that word, not today. But it's very irresponsible. And this is my opinion when we say that. Because if that's the case, why do we monitor what our children watch on television? Media is media. Media is media. So to think that it has no effect and no influence and there's no direct connection between how people think and behave to what they watch and what they consume is crazy. That is crazy. Because if you understand the way the subconscious mind works, you will never say that. Okay? We monitor what our children watch for a reason. So when certain things come into these spaces, you are right. People can make whatever they want to create. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Okay? But I think that we also have to be careful when we say and we try to reduce it to just entertainment, because it's never just entertainment. Because verbal attacks, words can easily become bullets tomorrow. And that's real. So I just wanted to say that because Rilla had already started to talk about it, and I was like, that's what I was really coming to speak to. So you don't have to put the clock on me, Sean. I'm done.
Got you. JP, and then I want AR, I know you wanted to get in, but I know a lot of people are addressing Soapbox specifically. So JP, because she had pushback for CHICAGORilla, Soapbox to respond to everybody, responding to him, and then I want to come to AR. So please hang tight, AR. I'm going to give you some time.
Okay. Again, congratulations to you, Rilla. My pushback is really kind of somewhere in the middle on both of these things, or to both gentlemen. One, if we're talking about the children, then our children need to understand what loyalty and being there for you looks like. More often than not, our community is the type that when you disappoint me or you've done something to do me wrong, or that I don't think you should have done, I will walk away from you. Our children have that lived experience for so long now that they're just willing to walk away from the community entirely. And what they did was go into social media spaces. Our children have been playing video games for who knows how long. They're building communities of children who don't look like them but are like-minded as them based on things like anime and the games that they play. They've been building communities for a long time. There's a lot of folks out here in this specifically Black YouTube space who are just now getting into social media at all. And the youth, and even I in that way, having grown up with them in that regard, doing it at the same time, find it disrespectful that you didn't care enough about social media until you got your ass in it and it started to affect you to do anything at all. Right? You want to be well, now you should behave like this. You should act this way. You should do. These people have always had an understanding and an etiquette about themselves and how they move. It's them looking around, look at like, what the fuck? This ain't what my normal community looks like. It is us bringing some of this bullshit here and have to stand up for it as adults. 40-year-olds, people who've never been on Facebook, Instagram, or any of that other stuff, don't even know how to start a damn video game. I got something for you. I'm going to start one over on Twitch, a whole group just for you old fuckers who wouldn't get your act right until it was time to make some goddamn money. I'll speak to the truth if nobody else will. You got up here that you're going to be able to make some motherfucking money and then found out that it came with more than just turning on your camera and being able to say, I know more than you because I'm 40 fucking 2. That's not enough. You have to actually provide content, information, value, community, respect. It's a whole bunch of things. If you can't do that, and if you're just now figuring out, or if this weekend is the thing that blew your life up, then take your ass home and sit down. The rest of us got it from here.
Woo! 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 I'm sorry. That's trolling me. I'm sorry. That's a troll. Intellectual soapbox. I know you had some pushback for your pushback. So
well,
whenever
just say you quit.
Go ahead and jump in, and then we got AR coming up to follow that.
As usual, people don't listen clearly to what I say, and it's fine. You know what I mean? Because I never said that. I never said that what people were doing was right. I said that YouTube should be used for entertainment. I never said it was entertainment. That's exactly what I said, and we can go back and we can, and it's not a shot at anybody. I don't take shots. My channel is peaceful. Intellectual Soapbox is peaceful. Now the relationship is peaceful. We peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I will defend myself, but I'm peaceful. Okay. So with that being said, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The reason I say that is because I talk to all parties involved. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to name names, but I talk to all parties involved. Auntie know. You know what I'm saying? We just got off a three-way with one of them today. I ain't gonna say who, but she know. You know what I mean? And I did that the whole weekend. You know what I mean? People in the comments know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you know what I mean? I've told everybody my piece. I told everybody need to be peaceful. I told everybody need to stop doing this madness. I said it over and over again. And the reason why I say nobody's gonna pull up, because they're not gonna pull up. They're not. Okay? They're not leaving their kids, they're not leaving their responsibility to pull up on anybody. They're not going to do it. Okay? So if they do, then they will be putting themselves at a high risk, and they'll be putting them and their families at a high risk. And nobody's willing to do that. You know what I mean? They're doing a lot of lip service now. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I do believe the information that they're putting out is toxic. It is bad. It isn't healthy. It's not beneficial for anyone. You know what I mean? And that's not what YouTube should be used for. It should be used for entertainment. It should be used to, you know what I mean, entertain you and maybe enlighten you as well. You know what I mean? And if you're a content creator, you want to use it as a source to put something good out there, as Mr. Rico was saying, and to possibly make some money if you can. You know what I mean? So if you can make that bread too while doing that and covering the content that you want to cover, perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking from. I'm not a person just in the chat just running my mouth. I'm not a content creator who wants to be down or who's in the chat just like, oh, go get him or go do this or go do that. No, I'm not one of them people. I'm really connected. So when I speak from a place of connection. And I could call any name you name, I can call them up. You know what I'm saying? Right now. And I've already spoken to mostly all of them anyway. So when I speak, I'm speaking from a sense of knowing because I've actually, know these people on a YouTube basis, on a professional basis. You know what I'm saying? And they've shared things personally as well. And that's all I gotta say. I don't condone any negativity, and I don't think any of the negativity is good for anybody. And they all need to chill and stop it because it's not good. And that's all I gotta say.
I appreciate that, Soapbox. I know Chicago got some pushback for the pushback, but I made AR wait like 20 minutes while everybody jumped the line because he was so busy eating. I was like, hey, I'm the only fat boy that's allowed up here, AR. You can't be eating like that.
Every time I see him, his ass eating.
Yeah, I'm the only fat man allowed up here. You can't eat like me. Now calm down. Unmute your mic. Get the chicken. Hide it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Bam. And then Chicago coming in hot.
All right, but number one, Ukrainians, stay where you at. Stay where you at. We already got enough problems. Stay where you at. Stay over there. Stay where you at. I don't feel sorry for y'all. But also to what the other lady was saying is that, I support who I want to support. I support who I want to support. I should not be told. I can't be told who to support, who not to support. There's quite a bit of people that don't like Lapeef Network. Okay. But I support them. Quite a few people don't like. So let me go down the list of people that I support. It's a lot of people out there, but the people who have problems with the Beef Network, Anton Daniels, King, this channel, What the Funk, JP, Wanna Cheek, On the Block with Jen, the list goes on. You will see me in the chats. Now, I don't condone the violence and that crazy shit.
We wasn't first. Arshawn, drop his ass. We wasn't first. I'm talking with you.
The thing about it, all this back and forth really started from Wanna Chica. Okay? When that incident happened, CHICAGORilla, y'all was quiet while Anton was yelling at her. No mute button, nothing. That happened about a year ago. And that's what they keep using over and over, that particular instance. That instance. So why was no mute button? That was crazy. I mean, it happened a year ago, so you can't answer that. But that's where all this is really coming from. From King and all of them. I spoke to King actually today. But most of that stuff came from that. This back and forth, Daryl, all this crazy shit like that really came from that loose, small incident. When Anton decided to yell at her while she was pregnant, blah, 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 they went back and forth, and no one muted Anton. Or Anton didn't mute himself, whatever the case may be. And that video is still up right. That video is still up right now. You can go to YouTube in the editor, and you can edit and trim that part out. It's still up there. So, Chicago, I got 3 more minutes. You want to answer this or just no, since we're holding people accountable?
So you conceding your time to Chicago?
Anyway, but my whole point is that I support whoever I want to support. I can't be told who not to support. Now, there are certain things like I support Chef, right? But I'm not going to get involved in what they're going through. But now if the other side says something about his mom, sister, okay, now I'm going to have to exclude myself. But I want people to know, make it very clear, I'm going to support, if someone has an issue with Rashawn, I'm still going to support Rashawn. And I'm still going to be in the comments. So what's happening now is that a lot of these content creators are looking on their so-called enemy pages to see who's in the chat supporting them. And then going to them, hey, AR, why are you supporting them? Because I can. Because I can. So, anyway, I'm done. That's what I'm saying.
Real quick, we got CHICAGORilla. Now, listen. Real quick. Now, I know some people may have direct questions or challenges for specific people, and they may call them out by name. But if you're up on the platform, you don't have to respond to anything you don't want to. We are all adults in this space. So you respond to what you want to, CHICAGORilla, but you were one to jump in when Intellectual Soapbox was talking. So I'm going to throw a 5 up for you, and you speak on what you feel like speaking up on.
Let me be clear and let me remain consistent, because I know anytime I show my face on these platforms, people got 1,000,001 questions about what the hell is going on with Lapeef Network and my involvement. I do not talk about Lapeef Network except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Any question for me regarding that, you are more than, and I'm saying this respectfully, because I keep saying this in these spaces. You're more than welcome to pull up on a Tuesday or Thursday. And you can ask me why I was quiet while I watched a brother and sister have a family discussion that I had only been on that platform for a short amount of time. And I let that brother and sister have their discussion. They didn't need my input. They didn't need my input. That was a brother and sister having their discussion, right? Now let's talk about the fact that ain't nobody gonna pull up in nobody's city. When I'm sitting in the city of Chicago and somebody will sit up there and make a post on Instagram, and the next thing you know, people getting murked left and right over an Instagram post because these young bloods in their emotion. Don't talk to me about what people won't do when they feel like they ain't got nothing to lose. And you got these young lions who are not going through their rites of passage correctly. And I don't care if they 22 or 32. When they feel like they haven't gone through their rites of passage and they want to respond with explosive anger, and we just dismiss it. Oh, this person is just passionate. And then they show up and do something dumb. See, it's all good until they show up and do something dumb. Then it's, I didn't know they had it in them. I didn't know they would do that. We did know they would do that. We saw the whole build up. And let me say this too. All this conversation about what happened between Tawana and Anton, I don't understand why everybody's so concerned with what happened between them when that was between them. Yeah, it was on public display, but that was between them. I get it. It was on public display. So why anybody feel the need to come cake and do all this and everybody owe somebody an explanation? It's the same thing I go through when people say, Rilla, you ain't married your woman yet. Nigga, I'm not fucking you. What are you talking about? Why are you worried about what's going on with me and my woman? I don't sleep with you. I didn't propose to you. I didn't tell you my life plans. I didn't put you on my insurance. You don't have access to my 401k. So why are you concerned? I get it. I'm on a public platform. I do. I swear I understand it. But this junk is crazy to me that we can't call balls and strikes. Let me tell y'all people in the chat something, man. Ain't nobody on no network or no platform telling y'all to choose a side. That's not what you see happening. That's not. It's people that go, listen, well, let me say for me. Let me speak for me because I saw Rashawn's face. I don't know. Well, I see y'all nodding. I don't know where y'all catching that from, because it's certainly people that got wrenches that go across multiple platforms and they catch smoke from y'all in the chat. You don't see nobody up on the actual camera saying, oh, this person over here, you fake, you phony, da-da-da-da-da. Not at least where I'm from, because the side that I'm on, don't nobody really care. We too busy having our conversation. It's a fact, right? So I'm gonna max out all my time, and then I might pull a Maxine Waters and reclaim my time. You did.
Not Maxine, man. She's horrible.
No. I'm gonna do it.
Watch your mouth about Auntie Maxine.
Nah. I get to get in my big coochie energy. You're not gonna.
I protect black women.
I get to do my vagina monologue. You don't get to do that to
all
me.
The drip, huh? Okay.
So let me say.
Only the real women come first around here, Rilla. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all. You stupid. Let me say this real spill though, man. Like people, like, come on, man. All this, well, I can't go to this channel and support, and I can't. Don't nobody, man. Listen, I'm in these YouTube streets too. I pull up on multiple platforms too. I send super chats too. I send cash apps if you don't have a super chat too. Stop playing. Everybody is in these YouTube streets. Check. It's like you channel surfing. If I'm at the crib, if I want to watch ESPN, if I want to watch TNT, catch the game. If I want to watch CBS, it's March Madness. Ain't nobody tripping off that. What people is tripping off of is the fact that certain people have an issue with ideology and philosophy of certain other individuals, and instead of you holding their feet to the fire, now you want to wage a fake war and a fake beef, and it's scorched earth. You're just gonna take out everybody. And there's too many people on the sidelines watching and not checking that shit. And I ain't with that. I'm not with it. If you're going to keep it 100, if we going to be men, if we building, you know what I'm saying? Annalisa had the dopest line the other night, man. You a man, right? Go build something.
All right, Rico, go ahead and jump in.
Appreciate that, brother Chicago. I ain't really got no pushback for nobody because I think the conversation has been uh, very intellectual. It's been very good, and I just think that we've all got our perspective out on the table, and it's solid. And again, like I said, when I came to this space after watching what I saw over the weekend, what was problematic to me was there were people in spaces over this weekend that was damn near mandating that people choose sides. And I was like, oh, no, the fuck they not. Oh, no, they not. Not some of the same problematic people that was in problematic spaces when it benefited them. Even like, again, in Chicago, I won't ask you to speak on anything on Lapeep. I've had problems over there on that channel and that platform with things that was said. Me and another content creator had a conversation, with something that not even on your Thursday night show, I think on your Sunday night show, about what Kevin said in the way that he spoke to a young man that I found to be completely unfounded. So I'm going to speak up wherever I see something that to me strikes me as unjust or unfair. So, here's the crazy part about it. It's like, while I did not wildly disagree with what these supposedly people had to say, I had a problem with their motives. Their motives were wildly questionable. But I've always had a problem with their motives because people's motives are usually very fucking selfish. They're very selfish. So I'm supposed to get a battery in my back because you being attacked. But you didn't have a battery in your back when others were being attacked or mistreated or looked down upon and so forth. You regaled in the nonsense and the fuckery then, but now I'm supposed to take exception and clutch my pearls because they came for you. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do that. And, like I said, the constant regurgitation of nonsense after nonsense, and people collab with each other to try to get subs over here and subs over there and streams over here and streams over there and salationists over here, this, that, and whatever. Do it. Everybody do it. But I'm going to be the same person I was before I came to this platform when I leave it. It's, to me, and like I said, when Brother AR spoke about the situation with Sister Tawana, I support her. But I'm not going to fight the battle for her because, one, as an outsider, I don't know the insides of what's going in and out. So that I almost feel like, okay, for me to go to war with her, it's like, I feel like almost going, and not the same as her and her husband, but it's the fact that like y'all were combined before. So now that y'all torn apart, and I don't know what tore y'all apart, I don't know how to even approach it. So I'm not. Now, what I did do, like most people did, is I told everybody to knock it off, to stop it, that it's bad for everybody, that it's a bad look. Yes, I spoke to these gentlemen. I spoke to anybody that was willing to listen to me to say we need to stop this shit. It's a horrible, ugly look. It's not mature. We're not adult like I did all that. But if they choose to ignore me, I can't go no further. And I'm not going to. Especially when you didn't, when it was something I took exception to. See, when I took exception to certain things, oh, just shut up, old Negro. Old wrinkle boss. Okay. I sat over there and be quiet. So now that it's your shit, I'm still going to sit over here and be quiet. You understand? That's how we going to do this. You ain't going to put a battery in my back when it suits you. And that's what they do because I will speak to an injustice no matter who or where. They only want to speak to it when it's a benefit. And I say you should always be leery of people like that. And I'm off my box.
Well, not yet, Rico, because Hanifah has a question for you. Hanifah, what's your question?
So, Rico, my question is, and I know, we talked about this on my platform the other day, and you was talking about in the moment when someone is saying something that you find to be very problematic, sort of checking them in that. But if you are making an observation right? And you're seeing that that person's motives may not be pure, right? Why does their motive not being pure so bothersome to you? Why would you just why can you not just say, you know what, I see through them and I am going to just choose to not align myself? Why do you have to be Captain Save the Collective from this person's motive?
No, but I wasn't. Okay, and I'm glad you said that, because I thought you were going to ask why didn't I say nothing in real time, like I sat there and said I should have, and I didn't. You're correct. Because at the time I didn't want to disrupt what I thought people were trying to build. So I didn't want to sit there, because, oftentimes if you speak up, you'll be viewed as the problem. You're the problem.
No, that's not my question, Rico. That's not my question at all. Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm not trying to save the collective. I looked at it and I thought it, because I don't think that I have wisdom greater than everybody else in the collective. I thought we all should see it. I just really did. And maybe I was the only one that saw, or maybe I was the only one that saw it from my perspective.
And real quick, Rico, Hanifah, what was the question again? Rico, did you catch her question? Because she said that.
Yeah, her question was, why do I feel like I need to save the collective?
No. That's not just, yes, that was a part of the question. Mm-hmm. But my question to you is, I know you said you can see that this person does not have pure motives. Whoever the person is, like it could be anyone, right? Mm-hmm. Why do them not having pure motives bother you so much? What does it take away from your life? And then the other part of the question is, why do you feel like you have to be Captain Save the Collective from this person's impure motives?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and I get that, and that's it. Okay, so but there's a flaw in me feeling like it takes nothing away from me to answer your question. I could just walk away and be completely content, fine, live my life, this, that, whatever. So it takes absolutely nothing away. But I think it is. I think I do allow myself to get sucked into the space of caring about people who will look at people who look like us in a disparaging way. Too much. I do. I it's just call it the Negro warrior, whatever the hell you want to call us. And again, like I said, I don't think I'm pro-Black, but I just think that I'm not anti-Black. That when you live in spaces where people gravitate to spaces and they take advantage, and I think too little of the people in the diaspora speak up, so we're forever downtrodden, and because we're forever downtrodden, we start to accept it. I see that as a problem, and it may be my problem. It may be an individual problem. It may be something that only I see for me, and it doesn't even affect anybody else. And everybody's like, this old wrinkle ball man is crazy. Yeah, I got a problem with my wrinkle balls. I'm just joking. But the reality is, it angers me when I hear people. I've literally heard repeatedly ad nauseum things said negative about people who look like you and JP. That bothers me. And maybe it shouldn't. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I should throw my hands up and say, the hell with Black women. They fight their own fight. I don't care. And I can walk away from it. But then I'm gonna be labeled something no matter what I do. Either I'm gonna fight for them and I'm a simp and a beta and the white knight, or either I'm going to walk away from it and I'm red pill. I can't win. You can't win it no matter what space. You're going to be one or the other. I choose to fight for them because I come from someone who looks like you. I gave birth. I didn't give birth to him, but I helped create someone who looks like you.
Okay,
that's
Rico.
Y'all see?
Ashan, if I could just wrap up this exchange between Rico and I.
Please.
I wasn't asking to corner you or to even label it right or wrong. No, I just wanted to really understand, because I know how you are. You're very protective of Black women. Like, I get it, right? Yeah. I just wanted to understand why. And it could just also be that you might just belong to a certain class or a certain tribe, right? Because I really believe like there's like the warrior tribe, there's those of us who are just scholars, there's those of us like everyone plays a different part, right? And so you might just be part of the warriors. I don't know. So I was just asking because some people might say, well, what's the big deal? You know, why are you so bothered by it? So I just wanted to clear that up openly and publicly as to why it bothers you. I wasn't trying to corner you or to label you right or wrong about it. I applaud you for it because I applaud your courage, you know, because even if you're not right, you at least try to speak up. And I appreciate that. And this is me saying this as a Black woman to you, a Black man. I appreciate you for that. So I was just asking just to, you know, have a better understanding as to why, you know, certain things bother you to that extent. But I'm going to close out by saying this, and I'm going to come down off of you guys' platform. I still go back to there's still a deeper conversation to be had around all of this, around all of what we're witnessing and observing. I think there's some self-growth to be had as well. I think there is just, you know, reevaluating different parts that we've played in certain situations where maybe we should have spoke up and we didn't, or where we should have maybe just disaligned ourselves and we didn't for whatever reason. So it's a moment of self-reflection and looking for the areas where you could do better going forward. That's the conversation that I'm interested in versus you're wrong, I'm wrong, who's wrong, nobody's wrong, everybody's wrong. Like, okay, we're all wrong. We've all been complicit. Now, what does that look like going forward? That's
all
it.
right. Hanifah, go ahead.
Can I say thank you, Hanifah, because you know what? You dropped the gem. You're 100% right. Everything you say, and even like you said, you know, you not regurgitated, that sounds bad. You spoke it back to me, and I received it respectfully because you're correct. That's just, it just bothers me. But more importantly than anything else, forget about me. What you said was excellent, and we do need to unpack this conversation. We do need to talk about it in a more holistic way. And I love the way you broke that down. And I hope you will do a stream about it and invite me and Brother Arshawn to come and impact our traumas on your channel as to why I'm the warrior class, why he's the don't listen to me class, you know, but whatever the case may be, because our people are
wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Okay, I'm going to head out. Rico, Ashan,
Sister Hanifah, real quick.
Yes, wait.
Yes, are we good? I just want to make sure we good.
No. Yes, I'm always good. I'm always good. Always.
If you got a problem, Hanifah, let me know. I'm the warrior class. I'll go see MrBest.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that I respect everyone on the panel. Respect to you, Arshawn, Mr. A.R., Rico, JP, the intellectual soapbox, MrBest in the world, Rilla, Apex, and I see somebody down there with a paper. I'm not sure who that is, but the one with no name, or is that one? Okay, yeah. But respect to the entire panel. Thank you for having me. I hope that I was able to contribute something to the conversation, and I will consider opening up my space for it. You guys know I don't do drama, but I will open up my space for a productive conversation where we leave with something of growth or productivity moving forward. But I love all you guys, and it's no problem, MrBest in the world. It's always peace over here. So
can I drink when I come or just coffee?
No, coffee. Bring water. Bring water.
Okay. And I shouted out. I put your channel in the chat, Hanifah. So thank you for being here. I definitely appreciate everything you shared tonight.
Okay.
And you take care.
Much love.
All right, now we wanted to get Soapbox. I know Soapbox, you've been waiting. JP stepped away, and then after Soapbox, and then AR, JP's not back. Going to circle back around to Chicago.
Apex Alpha
but before, Tristan probably ain't going to jump on the talk. He likes to put up the pictures. You know, I feel, now I'm not going to lie to you. I feel a little bit like a star. I feel like I made it, man. When Tristan come up on the panel to throw the memes up, man, you made it, man. I'm Hollywood now, man. I got some
smoke for him because he hasn't been on my show in a while, so I got some smoke for him there.
So Tristan, did you have anything to say real quick, or you just doing the memes?
I'm just doing the memes as always.
Appreciate you, brother. All right, so Box, you go ahead.
Memes. We don't get nothing but memes, Tristan.
Listen, I have no idea what's going on. All I
We're
know
all over
is
the place. We're all over the
I
place.
went to study. I came back. It was World War III. Everybody knows I rock with Jen, and that was just it. I'm like, that's it. I'm like, okay. You know, Jen was like, this is happening. I'm like, all right. What you want me to do? She like nothing. I'm like, okay. And then I kept it moving. I said, but
Okay.
once I saw the other live with the um with Tawana, I said, oh no, unsubscribe. I said, I don't do that. And I said, that's crossing the line. I don't care what it was. I said, attacking a woman is something that I can't rock with.
So we
Respect, man.
speaking in the truth over here. So if
I ain't gonna make that bold of a claim, man. We're gonna speak our truth. I ain't gonna say the truth. Well, let Soapbox, man. We're gonna let Soapbox rock, man. Let's jump in.
Go ahead, Soapbox.
Listen, I just want to say I thank everybody for sharing their perspective, man. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm about peace. Really, thank you for sharing your perspective, bro. Truly appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? And you've had behind the scenes conversations with certain people with you, trying to reconcile certain issues. So, you know what I mean? You know what it is, man. I'm not here to, to start any drama or to be a part of any drama, man. I just want peace in the YouTube streets and for everybody just to, have fun and rock out, man. That's all I really got. So, yeah.
That's it. No song, no dance. We're not singing tonight. Okay, let me start.
Hey, well, if he
sing,
always and forever.
There we go.
Each moment with you. There you go.
Hey.
It's just like a dream.
All right, now we can move on with the conversation. Now,
you know what? You can,
your ass.
you're only invited to the family reunion at this point. Keep it up.
You a hater. You a hater.
Real quick, JP, it's your turn. You can go ahead and the AR. Then we get in Chicago.
Okay. So, first of all, I think that's absolutely adorable, the little avatar there, like the little anime folks. But listen, at the end of the day, y'all, this is media. And if you didn't understand it before, you now understand. Whether you wanted your business out there or not, it's going to be out there. Whether you wanted such and such to happen, it's going to happen. Whether or not you think anybody is listening, they listening. Whether or not you think they're stealing from you, they stealing from you. Are they talking about you? They're talking about you. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you don't have a reason not to be. Okay? Especially when you're talking about getting out here and sharing your opinion. If you have a degree, you better be able to stand on that bad boy legitimately. When you move from your degree to some other BS, somebody's going to check you on that. Why wouldn't you expect such? If I were to say today I'm a chef, a daycare owner, and a phlebotomist, somebody's going to check my phlebotomy credentials at some point and be like, that bitch lying. It's a thing, especially in a time when we have seen look at our last and our current presidential candidates, right? Look at them both.
Put Rucker hating ass up there.
Your MFing face. Lied straight to your face, our faces. We voted for them, took them down.
Not me.
Hoping to put another one up there. I don't plan on voting this time. If I do, I plan on voting from the bottom up. But hell, even them travelers. Hey, shout out to you, Laura Conover of Tucson, Arizona, Pima County attorney. I'm coming for you, homegirl. You asked me to help you get elected, but you wouldn't help me when I was in need. I'm coming for you. Anywho, just sorry about that. I had to put it out there. These people here, though, everybody else is watching. Everybody else is looking, stealing. You mad about some black folks doing it? Everybody's doing it to you.
Where AR? Oh, you dropping good.
Yeah, because you had that Cheeto up there. Ain't nobody trying to see all that.
I know. Go ahead, JP. You finished?
I'm done.
Okay.
AR was next.
Well, go ahead, AR.
Well, first of all, I want to say to Rilla, listen, maybe I came off, sometimes I'm a little strong. I don't have an issue with you at all, I actually would like you on my show, so I actually have to apologize, Once you're on my show, then I can bring some smoke to you, Nah, but
hey, 1 second. Dawn, hell no, we never doing another family game night. Y'all
Yes,
don't know
we are,
how
Dawn. We'll do it on my channel. I know how to get them to act right. It's just all those men were over there talking about all their violent adventures when they were children.
That's what happens when Hennessy meets
AR,
games.
We're never
That's
doing
what
a family
happens.
game night again. Y'all don't know how to act right. Go ahead, AR.
Yeah, and also, listen, Chicago. I'm in New York. All these black kids. We don't have enough money for these programs and so forth, right? Which programs don't stop bad behaviors, character, right? Don't let the Ukrainians in. Don't let y'all in. Get them out. If you're not legal, get out. No, help our own. Get out. Right. So anyway, so what I also want to say is that when it comes to supporting other channels, is that I don't.
You only get 28 seconds to be racist.
But listen, right? So, when I spoke on Juana Chica, Juana, she don't support me, but I still support her. There's other channels where I'm going to support them, and I think it's sad that I even hit people in the Cash App. I've got told, don't send this person no money. Like we're all, oh, that's me. We're all on here trying to support each other and so forth. And it's sad. But listen, also, what I also want to say is that I've been watching for months on the other side. Quite a few people have been supporting all that behavior. So now, because the other side is winning, Jenin or whoever, now that they're winning, now let's call peace. Y'all, anyway. So also, I want to say, Rashawn, can I say it one time, please? I want to respect your platform. Rashawn.
Say what? I mean, you gotta say it. Even
you
gotta.
I curse.
I don't. Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah.
Well, I don't think nobody interrupted him.
Yeah, say what you say, man.
This is a profanity accepted channel. Go ahead.
Now wait. If it's the N word, JP doesn't like the N word. We're gonna make sure the ladies, JP don't do the N word. Yeah, keep the N word while JP's on the panel. And if she steps down, we'll have her cover her ears.
I do flip, so I do understand.
AR, you got the 1%. So you got the one drop, AR. So we let you get it on.
AR, I literally had to put in a thing for Rico and Darrell to not say it, where they were gonna have to pay me push-ups because they were saying it so much. Okay, it's not everybody. It's a level to these things. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, AR, you can get one off. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get one off. Can I get one off, please? If you don't mind,
you get
just
one.
Okay, listen, I'm not surprised. Okay, this behavior amongst the black YouTube, I'm not surprised. Listen, I'm not surprised. Okay, it's part of this type of ignorance being a nigga. It's part of
No,
if you yell it out, you won't be banned from YouTube. Just so people can know,
You supposed to say this how you niggas act.
Ridiculous.
Stop with that old soft peddling shit.
All right, hey Rico, CHICAGORilla has to get ready to go. We're gonna let Chicago get his last words, and then we'll move on.
Hey man, thank y'all. I was trying to be here for a good time, not a long time. Is that Tristan Draper?
Yeah, you know.
Yes, the number one simp in YouTube. Yes,
this dude is a fool. I see you, dude. I be seeing you. I be crying when I see you up on some of these panels, bro. So salute to you, Rashawn. I've been waiting on somebody to use that wrap it up B, man. Like I need to get me a board and all that, but
it's funny, Chicago. You think it's funny that he do it to me all the time?
Man, listen, I need to get some equipment, but I'm a big Simp beta host, so I ain't got no YouTube channel. I ain't got no job, no nothing, so I don't even really invest in equipment like that. But that is, dude, that wrap it up B, like,
yeah, man.
If you could, if you could get some of the Boondocks, like if you could get some Uncle Ruckus in there. You get some of that Fleece Johnson. You get some of that Fleece Johnson. I like share and I won't share in there. Man, listen, you might be doing a little bit of cooking, sir. But I remember either I was on a stream with y'all or I was watching a stream with y'all and y'all were talking about doing this show. And I think it's super dope, OG, for you to be living up to what you said you wanted to do coming into this space. So, I know for a fact, not only have you offered valid critique, and it's not always cute. It don't always feel good the way you critique people and the way you know what I'm saying, chop heads, but it is what it is, right? And this is the point that I'm making at the end of the day. Like, we men, right? So either we gonna be men or we not gonna be men. And when we see bull, and I get it, I don't expect nobody to because the truth of the matter is, you know, we could easily armchair quarterback and critique people in certain spaces at certain times and say, well, why you didn't call this out, or why you didn't call, like, come on, fam. Every time you seen something, you ain't call it out all the time. You thought about it after the fact and said, I should have said something. Like, let's keep it a beam. But when you do see something and you feel that conviction, you do say something. Right. And so what I'm encouraging men is not necessarily there's some coachable teaching moments. What's most embarrassing from this weekend, in my opinion, is that there's a lot of young bloods that's looking at this. We got older people. We got people in their 40s showing young bloods that are, you know, 10 years, 15 years, their junior, giving them these types of examples on how to act and how to, you know, move in these spaces. And so, you know, for the network that I consider myself affiliated with or whatever, I mean, say what you want. The critique is welcome. You know, jump in the comments, call me out, do what you got to do. I'm built for this. I'm true to this. I ain't new to this. You understand what I'm saying? So the point being is that as men, right, we got to remain men. And when we see something, we got to say something. And so if it's so easy to call stuff out on one end, we got to be willing to do the same on the other end. Right. And that's how we build a stronger community, man. But we can't continue to push that whole, you know, it's just YouTube. It's clearly not, fam. It's clearly not. And Hanifah, man, shout out to Hanifah, man. So dope. But here's the truth of the matter when it comes to some men, Hanifah, self-accountability for some men is like kryptonite. They don't know what it means until another dude get up in your face and say, what'd you say again? And then you chin check him. That's what Rico tries to do. It's not cute. I don't always like what Rico say. I don't always agree with what Rico say, but it is what it is. He's one of them OGs that's going, you know, and so that's all I'm saying. As men, I'm not saying nothing about women. It's certain things we can't condone, fam. It's certain things we got to call out. All right. If you don't like the fact that somebody talking about unruly women and their behavior, or they disagreeing with a woman's opinion, that's one thing, man. But when we get to slinging mud and we reveling in that, man, brothers got to be able to stand up and say, nah, fam, we don't rock like that. And we got to be able to, it's almost like, you know, in school, the dude that was acting up, I'm talking about high school, because this is what this feels like sometimes, right? So, you know, in high school, like the dude that was acting out and the cool kids would just shove him like, nah, that we don't draw like that, fam. Like, you took it too far. You know, up here, when I was growing up with gang culture, man, and even on the West Coast, they still call it getting DP'd, right? Here we call it getting violated. You got a pumpkin head. Women, children were off limits, right? So if it's going to be amongst men, then keep it amongst us men, right? Like, throw your rockets and all that other stuff, man. But we can't have other oofy goofies in these comments and chats and stuff supporting this type of stuff too either, man. Yeah. It's enough room. The crazy thing is, y'all, the insane thing is that YouTube is big enough for all of us to eat. We over here arguing over a couple hundred subscribers, and Joe Rogan got millions. What are we doing?
Exactly. All right, Rilla, you want to shout out? I know you said you don't speak on your network. Did you want to shout out your network?
No.
Well, your personal channel. You got a personal channel?
I don't have nothing to sell.
Nothing to plug.
I ain't got nothing to sell.
No t-shirts.
I be over there all the time.
No hats.
Don't tell nobody. I be looking. And
no Polish sausage.
He was trying to be really cute with his hat on and them jeans and the stance thing he got going.
No glasses.
Man, cut it out. You know I'm all black everything, JP. Listen. I'm a custodial engineer at Sears and Roebuck. I would appreciate it if y'all continue to support Sears and Roebuck so I can continue to provide for my family, because right now we're on the EBT card, and for less than 70 cents a day, you could provide for a Simp beta hoster like me.
This dude. All right, Chicago, man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Appreciate your contribution.
Check the back check, Rilla. Check the back check real quick.
So,
you know how I get down. Don't threaten me with a good time.
And Rilla, I'm just gonna push back on you. I know you gotta go, but I'm just gonna push back on you. But you speak about
JP, before you push back on me, because pimping ain't dead, hoes just scared. Let me say this. Rashawn, you is a fool, bro. I just gotta tell you that again, man. You usually be in the comments, you usually be in the chat dumbing out and everything.
Yeah, man, I gotta change that up, man.
Man, stay in front of the camera, bro. Stay in front of the camera.
Rilla, check the private chat, bro. Check the private chat.
Yeah, I see you. I'm finna text you. I'm finna text you in 2 seconds. It's not Rico and JP got my math. JP, you know I gotta keep it pimping.
Heard always. Much love. Yeah, let me just say this.
Go ahead,
I got
JP.
two things. First of all, Rashawn, like always, got to wait for 3 other men to tell him what one woman told him in the very beginning. But we're gonna let that go. Yep.
Wait.
Oh,
Shots.
Yep, all the way around. And here come the one for Rilla. Rilla, you keep mentioning old school gang mentality, but y'all got to understand that they don't care no more. There is no centralized gang the way that there used to be. A lot of these are just running around under a moniker, shooting up whomever, doing whatever. And that translates immediately in these YouTube streams or in social media. If you look at what happened to my city, Memphis, Young Dolph, a whole bunch of them. It's a thing, right? It is literally you run your mouth, 45 minutes later, somebody is out. We got to start paying attention and be more honest about this than thinking about what it used to be. The same way that I just cursed out a bunch of 40-something-year-olds for coming to social media thinking they got the right to say anything. We need to be understanding the young ones coming behind us, they've seen a lot more trauma than we're willing to admit to.
Okay, can we
Pivot
the conversation?
Pivot.
Back? No, it's not a pivot. It's just recentering. Because again, like I said, thank you, brother Chicago. I think what you dropped was just like some dope, some real shit. It spoke to the message and the image that we need to talk about in these YouTube streets and these streams everywhere.
We want prenups.
It's Mr. Record Up. We're gonna do prenups. I think it's very true. But I think we need to stick also into a space of he talked. You talked to me about several times about you talking to the youth of Chicago and this, that, and whatever. And like I said, I told you, like, my background, my experience was I did a lot of youth sports coaching. So when people sit there and talk about gangs, I'm like, a lot of gang members are into athletics, whether they're in the basketball, whether they're in the football, whether they're in the baseball. They love that shit. So I always, at an early age, I had 5 sons. So I would go out and I would teach, my youngest, who's now, I should know his age. I don't know, he's 20-something. He was like 5 years old. They called him ankle biters. I was like, oh, ankle bite. They just bite on your fucking ankles, little fuckers. And we were teaching tackle football. And it was like, no, this is tackle football. Okay. They might get concussed. I don't know. I don't care. As a black male, that was the space I was in. And it was a very big thing. So to help offset the cost, I had to get involved in the organization because I was paying for 5 kids and things like that. So, so to fast forward, I did this for almost 20 years. So even when my kids grew up and they were high school, gone, this, whatever, I still continued to do it. Because what happened is you start to fall in love with these kids. And oftentimes when you're into youth sports, especially whether it's basketball or football or even baseball, you're dealing with young black men who come from disadvantaged families. That's what you're talking to. So people would be like, oh, I ain't trying to, like, literally, you know how many kids I had to pay for out of my fucking pocket for them to participate in these sports? I literally was damn near adopting kids every year. Because as a coach, youth sport coaches pay damn soccer, baseball, basketball, football, field hockey, volleyball, because some of your best sports stars come from disadvantaged families. So when I hear, let me tell you. So like Hanifah asked me, right? And this is where it comes from. When I hear people say, why do you care so much? Because I was a disadvantaged black boy without a father. And someone didn't give a fuck about me. So when I see an opportunity to invest in, whether it's a black child, a Latino child, an Asian child who comes from a disadvantaged family, fuck y'all for dare questioning me about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to get in my space. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to everybody. Fuck you for dare questioning me if I choose to do so. If you don't want to, that's fine. Don't do it. But how do you sit there and look at me with this? Oh, you a simp for doing. The fuck is you talking about? Because these are the same children we will sit there and we will say, oh, they should be thrown away. They shouldn't matter. But then when you got men who are willing to come and be involved in these children's lives, you want to tear them down. Fuck you. That's the space I come from. So whether you're a stepfather, whether you're a coach, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a mentor, fuck you for telling us that we shouldn't care. Yeah, I care too much. And maybe I should. But until I close my eyes, I will. The same way I defend Black women, I defend Black children, Latino children, Asian children. Fuck you for telling me I shouldn't care. Because you don't want to. That's fine. I am not going to knock y'all for not caring. But you're not going to knock me for caring. That's wrong. Don't do that. Don't do that. We do that too much. And people sit here and they get in their little performative spaces. I do this, I do. Where's your fucking receipts?
The way that you're going to win these items.
Where your receipts? Where's your evidence? Where's your proof?
Enter in. Hold on, let me find the.
And I'm not asking for nobody for receipts.
We don't. Look,
I'm not asking anybody.
I'm gonna show them how this shit.
Who the hell is that?
These niggas.
I'm not asking.
AR, man. AR, come on, man. AR.
I'm not asking anybody for any receipts of what they do. What I'm sitting there saying is, how do you have the hubris to tell the people who are willing to do what you're not doing that they're wrong? If they're willing to have enough empathy. All I heard all weekend was, yeah, you gotta have empathy. Okay, so when I have empathy for Black children or Hispanic children or Asian children, I'm a simp. But I need to have empathy for grown-ass women. Knock it the fuck off. Knock it the fuck off. I can't have empathy for them, but I need to have empathy for y'all. No, I'm an empath, period. I care about people who don't have opportunities that I had. I just do. And you know what? I ain't apologizing to none of you motherfuckers for it. You can call me what you want. Fuck you. I don't care. Because you know what? You could have been that little Black boy. You could have been that little Black girl. You could have been a little Black boy. Any of us could have been.
I love you, Rico.
Yeah, Rico.
No.
You're about to go on your third tangent on that.
Man, yeah. I'm like, yo.
When you paused, I'm like, oh no, he's.
Oh man, gotta get in here real quick. Hey, AR's got to dip in a minute, Rico. We're gonna let him give his closing thoughts and shout out whatever. Yeah,
let him pop.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I really appreciate you and Rico allowing me on here, Rashawn and Rico. Yeah, man, it's just I gotta admit, you know, I think it was last weekend, the weekend before, I think last weekend, when it just kind of hurt my stomach that I reached out to people I didn't want to speak to. I did not want to speak to them, you know, but I reached out to them, and they're still going and stuff. But I just think it was cool that I noticed CHICAGORilla was on here. And I remember from the Facebook group, I think I said something to Rico that Chicago did a drive-by on you on the other platform, and you went back and forth with me. But it's cool how we all came together, you know. And yeah, man, just listen, I'm really grateful for y'all. And yeah, man, and shout out to the white people, you know, white lives matter too, you know.
I hate your
ass. So this is what happens to people like that.
But no, listen, man, I really appreciate y'all even allowing me on here. I'm really, really grateful Thank you, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Rashawn, for the content you bring.
Your favorite white person.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but listen, people don't understand. Like, right? My father is Irish. My father is white. You know, so people look at him like, what? He's white. He's white with a pointy nose.
I can tell.
You know, Mr. Clark.
I'm not confused.
Listen, JP, but JP, you know, if you're gonna go, I do want to support you as well because I haven't really been on your stream in a while. I just don't know when you go live. So if you,
I don't either.
Okay, so
I'm glad she said it. I was holding it back, like. Ugh.
All right, so you know, but
okay. Let me just say this to be the reason why I didn't know before, because all of this stuff that's happening right now, I knew it, I saw it, and I wasn't interested in it. And I could bide my time because I've always been about the children and uplifting the names of certain people in our community more than anything else, right? So I knew my content creator journey was going to be a long ride anyway. And then I live with certain health issues. So I'm doing better now. I have people around me who are willing to help me. And if they would stay out of my spot, you know, time zone, so to speak, we wouldn't have these issues. So thank you, AR. I promise I will send you all the information on IG, even if I might not send it to Rashawn anymore.
You got to be in the seat to hold it, JP. You got to be in the seat to hold it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do around here.
Hey, you just got old enough to sit in the front seat. Chill out, bro.
Just got my temps.
But you know, AR, good look, brother. Thank you for coming up. Great stream. Great fucking contribution to the stream. We love it. We love it. Even though you always wrong,
love it.
Even though you're always wrong, you wrong in the right way. So we love you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You wrong in the right way, brother. I can
listen, man. You know,
appreciate you enough.
One thing I'm gonna practice on Mr. On Rucker. What's this guy's name? I think someone just said it, Mr. Rucker.
Mr. Rucker.
What's the guy called from
Tree Nut?
Oh, Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, I'm gonna practice on his voice. So when I come on here.
Okay. Do me a favor.
I can't stand y'all now.
No. Question me. No. Arshawn. AR.
Shut your black mouth. Talking to me.
Arshawn.
Are you still talking, Negro?
Hey, you're going to be the first content creator to kill somebody on your live choking on his excess chicken juice.
Why are you wearing sunglasses inside?
AR, you going to practice on Ruckus, right?
I thought black people could see.
You're going to be Ruckus. So if you're going to be Ruckus, guess who I'm going to be? Because I got old wrinkly balls. I'm going to be Stink Meaner.
Yeah.
Go watch Stink Meaner.
That was a good one.
Go watch Stink Meaner. He's a recurring character. He's the old motherfucker they killed that wouldn't die.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna practice my Donald Trump voice. The
next time
I come on here, I'm Donald Trump. Yep.
AR.
With my wig and everything. Yes.
Had to get rid of his black ass.
No.
That's gonna be some real trolling, right?
Arshawn. Here's my Stink Meaner voice. That's your problem, nigga.
Yeah. That's a good one. There you go. I love it.
Listen, God bless everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Appreciate you, AR.
Next up. So, Rashawn, you normally go live on Monday. When do you normally go live?
I gotta talk to the boss because I got 5 bosses. So one of my bosses, JP, is telling me that I just took her spot. So I gotta reconfigure some things. But my other boss, Rico, might have a problem with the time because his wife, his boss, tells that boss, my boss, what bossing he can boss. You know what I'm saying? So then I got to boss M3 on Wednesdays, which is also JP's time. So my 2 bosses got to boss each other out of bossing. So I don't even know what to do.
We'll talk next week.
I guess, I guess we're working out.
But all right now, Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Got it. Okay. All right. No problem. All right. Take care, everyone.
All right. See you, AR.
What makes this so bad is the whole time Michael Jackson is looking at us like
I know, like
I left the future too.
And you know,
Michael disapproves of all this nonsense. He's like,
Tristan, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me just say this. Okay,
oh boy.
No. I'm just.
Oh no, let me put a dab on.
Correct. I don't want you to feel no kind of way about anything. I want you to feel okay about the space you're at. because the bottom line is, I know, like I said, you come in, you align with certain people, and that's fine. And we don't do that. We don't do this. Oh, you gotta align. No, fuck that shit. You align with whoever you want to align with. Nobody's not gonna put no pressure on you about that. And no one is gonna tell you, like I say, you want to correct JP, Arshawn, myself, anybody about anything we say out of pocket. Feel free to, because you're welcome here. I'm not going to tell you what to think or believe or feel in this space. Never. And by the same token, because we don't accept being told that. So that's all. I just wanted to let you know that, like, hey, you're here in this space. You don't have to feel like, oh, well, am I doing them? No. If people don't want you to be over here and you want to listen to them, then you listen to them. But you're free to come over here and be Tristan Draper 100% unauthentically whoever the fuck you are, and you can jump down my throat, kick me in my ass, call me old wrinkle ball, jump on Arshawn ass, jump on JP. You are free to do that.
You can't jump on me. I got limits. I weigh 145 pounds, and I think you might be heavy underneath that doggone avatar.
You is what I'm saying. No one's not going to check you and tell you have to be a particular. But if you don't like something I said, fucking let me know. If you don't say anything, I figure it's good. Because I'm going to say what I want to say. So I don't want to sit there and police or handcuff you. That's all we're saying. Does that make sense, Tristan?
Yeah, but I'm going to be 100% clear. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand that whole rant. I'm sorry.
The whole rant is because you may hear things that don't align with people you align with, and I don't want you to feel like you need to hold back. Is that okay?
No, everybody, Jen is my friend, so I'm gonna go with my real life friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's fine, but that's not everybody's friend.
No, that's fine. I said she don't care about YouTube like that. So
yeah, that's it.
And that's how I look at it. I look at it as YouTube.
Right.
But
if you want to sit there and say, Rico, that's fine. I don't want you to feel like, I don't want to say that because I'm on their platform. No, you can say what you want to say is what I'm saying. That's it.
Oh, no.
And I ain't got no beef with them, but I don't fuck with them peoples. That's it.
That I think people make a mistake of thinking I care. Because to me, it's YouTube, right? Right. I can't. It's on the screen. It's
hard to take serious.
My mom says I think like a robot. It's like I'm looking at a screen, and when I turn the screen off,
it's gone. It's like magic.
I can't take anybody serious. But my issue only came when I saw the Tawana thing on King's channel. I'm like, yo, you going outside of unwritten rules now.
But
that's not how you're supposed to act as a man.
Tristan, whose fault is that? You the fucking goddamn troll mean king.
Oh, you gonna blame Tristan?
Oh no. The person.
You are the king of the memes. You are the king of the memes.
Yeah.
I sit back and I laugh at all your shit because it'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious.
No, but
your meme game is fire.
Thank you. I have.
There you go. You
take it about here.
Okay. Oh, I was wondering where that was going, Rico.
No,
I'm glad you landed that plane. He's great. Tristan's great.
His meme game
It's not about who start right. Rico, you know this. Arshawn knows this. Every real man knows this. Being a man, being a father, being a leader is a thankless job.
Yes.
There's only expectations. So it doesn't matter what King did, whether he was in the right and the wrong. When you react to something, you're automatically at fault. Period. That's how I was raised.
There you go.
So that's why everybody's like, Tawana could have sat there for the last 3 months talking about King, but once he responded, I can't rock with you like that. Because imagine if Obama were to say, listen, the economy's fucked up. All this is fucked up. We're in this war in Iraq because of y'all.
Yeah.
Imagine. when you claim to be a man, when you claim you want the leadership, you want the submission, the expectations are you have to act like a man. Period.
But the reality is, for the people who chose to stay out of it, the three of us said we don't want to have nothing to do with it. We're going to distance ourselves because I didn't want to take a side either way. Why is that such a horrible thing? You the king of the memes. Come on, give me a meme. Give me a meme for staying out of it.
To be real, it's not about picking sides because it's not about y'all. Why
but you the king of the memes. Give me a meme for staying out.
Oh, you want a meme for it?
Yeah, I want a meme for staying out of it.
Okay, hold on.
He the king of the memes. I'm pressing him on his meme game. Okay, give me a staying out of it meme.
All right,
make his ass work, man. I want to staying out of it meme.
You've been talking all day about making people work, Rico. We ain't nobody's boss.
Yeah, I'm Tristan's boss tonight.
I don't like the way that sounds. That sound like that Rico. Booty warrior. Rico. I'm Tristan's boss tonight. I need you and I want you.
Where's Mrs. Rico?
I got you, Rico. I got you. Rico like that. You got shit to do with me.
He always do this shit. Tristan always do this shit.
All right, Rico. JP has something. Yeah, JP, you have something to say. Then we're gonna do our closing.
I mean, I was just worried. If Rico sound like Mrs. Rico, it might be role playing night. All that work y'all talking about. I don't know which one of y'all gonna put on the maid outfit. I'm just saying.
Somebody getting put to work.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody getting put to work. Hey, Trish, you got any last words before we close out? And then JP, and then me and Rico.
No, I am good to go, fellas.
Yeah, and real quick, man, I'm not gonna regurgitate like Rico said. I'm not gonna regurgitate everything Rico said, but to reiterate it, I don't have an intention to put a bind on anybody. Like, this space is a public space. I see YouTube like Tristan. This is a public space. So even the people I have a problem with can come here. It's a public space until they dishonor it. Like, if they dishonor and disrespect, so anybody's welcome here. Even if you don't put out a little video of me, you can still pop over here, but you're going to have some decorum. This ain't going to be like your space. It's going to be like my space. So it's going to be run different. That couch, ain't going to be no F your couch stuff over here. Ain't gonna be no grandstanding and victimizing. I'm a victim. Nah, you can talk. You can talk about the topic. You can talk about yourself. But what we ain't gonna do is a lot of that mess y'all did in y'all spaces. But again, you're welcome. It's a public space until you make yourself not welcome. But Tristan, you got any last words?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I was muted. I said, this is what I was thinking that whole time when I was watching King's Live. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, you was tough as hell behind that keyboard. I'm like, but you can't leave the state. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
That whole YouTube last 2 weeks, everybody had me watching these clips. I'm like, this is what I'm looking at. I'm like, all y'all are crazy. Yeah. I said, give people a camera and a keyboard, and they're going crazy.
Clout's a hell of a drug.
Listen, as all for monetization. That is like crack for some people.
Man,
and then the work you got to keep up.
And then they talking about how many viewers you got because of me. I said, or E Black is like, oh yeah, look at how everything I'm growing. I'm like, you're willing to go down this rabbit hole and lose yourself over some views. And what happens? Me and Arshawn, when we turn it off, we're like, damn, man, that shit was funny, and go to sleep. And then y'all got to deal with real life after that. Not us.
Yeah. Because I can't think that many days about one guy, man. Yeah.
Listen.
Well, I mean, I can, but he right there, so.
You can, but you're inclined towards men. So if you're thinking about that man.
Mind you, JP's my favorite pimp.
Oh!
That's
it. I got the unicorn pimp glow up. Yay, me.
Yeah. All right, Trish. Now, what about you, JP? You got any closing words before we head out of here?
I mean, I just agree with what Tristan said. This is the first time I think we've actually been on a panel together, Tristan, that I can remember.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the long and the short of it is, I'll take my mental health over other people's crazy any damn day, right? You can call me Asperger's, autistic. You can call me uh, dissociative. I don't care. I will take that over the crazy shit that's happening out here in these YouTube streams because people don't have their emotions in check. So at the end of the day, y'all can come check me out over on JP the Aspiring Matriarch. I'm gonna kick Rashawn out of one of my slots and Knowledge and Relationships out the other one so that I can actually, be able to stream on time. I'm gonna show up with my act right, and we're gonna have some conversations and get into it, unpack your black, and put some principles into practice. Keep your spirit up. I'll see y'all in the streams. Maybe not Rashawn. Put his ass on timeout.
Man, yeah. Time out for real. All right, JP, I still love you. I still love you. Rico, you got any closing words before we head out of here?
No, I probably more so than anything else, I want to shout out Sister Hanifah, Nailah. She spoke some words of affirmation into my mind, my spirit, my heart about how I need to not be, and you too, brother Arshawn, how I need to be so engrossed into these spaces about certain things that even before I even came to this YouTube space, like I took very serious about how I felt about my community. So this is not coming to YouTube and all of a sudden it was an awakening about my blackness was awakened long before I came into here. Like I said, when I was out in the community and I was doing the physical things that I was doing, it was very important to me. So coming into these spaces, I'm very protective of it. And maybe I shouldn't be as protective. My wife talks to me about it more so too. She tell me just turn this shit off and fuck this shit. I get angry. I'm literally fighting with my better half to continue to be in this space. And sometimes I think to myself, maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should say fuck it and walk away and be done with it. But I'm hoping that this message will reach someone who will feel like-minded. So when I do pass the torch, I can walk away. And I know that, hey, there are people out there still fighting it. So I'm good. I'm in a good space. I'm going to go upstairs and get my head chopped off tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I just really, wish we would look at ourselves and look at what we've been through and what we're going through. I just wish we cared a little bit more about each other. I just think we don't, and it sucks. So I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, Hanifah, you've been a great moderator and all that shit. Not today, but today. You got me today. You got through to me today. I love you guys. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Man, definitely appreciate you, Rico. Definitely appreciate everybody that came up on the panel. Tristan, appreciate your services, sir. JP, definitely love you and appreciate you. Everybody that came up, Hanifah, CHICAGORilla, Intellectual Soapbox, a.k.a. MrBest, a.k.a. Mr. If You Know, You Know, a.k.a. Knowledge and Relationships Network Manager. So, thank you to everybody else that I'm forgetting. AR, can't think of anybody else. I want to thank our first bot, yo. We got a bot. So listen to the first we had today. We had CHICAGORilla from that network that he wouldn't name. We got Tristan bringing up the memes, and we got our first bot. So all right, I want y'all to know how big this is. Triple threat of like letting people know that you done something. So yeah, appreciate all of y'all. Simma.
It's good to know that we're dropping.
Did you cut off my closing? Did you cut me off? I gotta drop this now. No, I'm good. Let me quit real quick though. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Simma, appreciate you. You've been rocking all day. JP, appreciate the kind words in the chat. Neil, you've been hanging with us. I appreciate you all. I want you all to know that you all have currency with me. But anyway, Rico, you said you had something you wanted to say before we head out?
No. I just wanted to sit and say thank you for everybody that rocked with us. Continue on. Blessings to each and every one. We just put out the message that we think is important, thoughtful, and where I didn't think I had a voice to give, I still don't. But I try to give voice to people who are voiceless. My brother Arshawn, he's the intellect. He's the intelligentsia that come to bring it out and say, hey, come on over to me, this, that, whatever. And there are going to be people who are going to sit there and they're going to take shots at us. We don't care because that's not our thing. That's not me, Arshawn, JP. We don't care about that shit. We care about caring to the community. And brother AR, Don Harden, you guys know. You guys are out there in these streets. You're everywhere. And we're going to keep doing what we're going to keep doing because you know what? It's going to get traction. And it's going to get traction not for we care about the likes. We care about the message. We want people to get out of this messy shit. The messiness is everywhere. We want to say to you, like, you don't have to do the messy. You can do the solid. We good. And to actually, what I always tell you, Arshawn, this is not our space. This is your space. We're just the host. We want to open this space up so that when you're tired of the messy, we want to give you a place to come to. That's it. Come take my seat. Take Arshawn's seat. Take both of our seats so we can sit back. My old stinking wrinkle-bald ass is tired. I want to sit in the bleachers and watch better, younger, more energetic, more enthusiastic, more intelligent content creators to come to this space and to speak to us. That's what I want. I'm going to leave AR alone.
Yeah, definitely respect and loved out to Don Harden and Quantum because y'all support. I appreciate y'all pulling up and loving up on us because that's what we want, like Rico said, to bring to the space. I follow in the vein of JP. I want people to unpack their black. So, that thing with listen, understand, validate. Like, I want this space to be about that kind of love. You're going to be listened to. We're going to try to get an understanding. And your feelings are valid here. So that's what you're going to get here. I cannot say that every perspective will be given a complete free reign platform, but we will have some things that may not align with the way we think, like AR and his pro-Trump, but we're going to give him that space. So, I definitely love y'all. I appreciate all of y'all.
We love wrong.
I'm going to keep trying to, as long as you guys show up, I'm going to keep being motivated to do the work I put in to make the stuff. I didn't touch any of the topics I had for this show. Like, this was all organic. Like, not a single one. Other than like the recap from last week. That was all that we got to. I didn't get to any of the topics. Because even though I said it was a show about nothing, I had to have something. But I want y'all to know that's what I mean by we're going to listen, understand, and validate because I don't care about what I'm talking about. If you have something to say, I want you to be heard. So anybody, anytime you need to pull up, you can avatar up if I know you. And if I don't know you, we'll get to know each other. So anyway, that's all I got to say. I want everybody to have a good night. I don't have a fancy closing to say, but I do have a fancy timer. Peace.
We love you.